The views and opinions expressed in this podcast do not necessarily reflect those of any major corporation whatsoever.
Well then, Bunsinera.
Yes.
That's a Bob's Dirty Shorts party for a 16-year-old Mexican girl. Just to be clear as to what that is. Or 15? I don't remember. I'm a Mexican. Well then, today shall be etched into the annals of history as an historic episode of the Pope on Film podcast.
Okay.
Already this episode, we have had a number of firsts that have already made this a very historic episode.
And have set the world on fire.
Yeah. For those of you who are only tuning in to just the discussion of the movie, you have missed out on so much. For those of you who are on SoundCloud right now and only listening to this because we're talking about the rooms or only listening to the room portion of the show, you have already missed so much. We've done like 5 hours of hilarious podcasting before we started talking about the room.
They will not know how to have sex with a doll. That's all I'm saying. And we're not going over it again either.
No, we aren't. We aren't at all. But you missed out on that. Already this episode, for those of you who are only listening to the movie part, earlier on the show, we had a first. We had the first on-air birth of quintuplets.
Yes.
That moved me to tears. It really did. It moved me to tears. I was so moved. I was so absolutely moved by that. And again, my congratulations to Jeannie. She did great.
Yes.
I mean, quintuplets. I had no idea she had it in her.
Oddly, neither did I. It was quite the surprise.
Yeah, blown away. And we recorded the whole thing right here on the podcast. You could hear the babies being born. It just blew my mind. First time ever on a podcast that quintuplets were born live on the air while recording. And amazing.
If any of the people who are just listening now ever run into a pack of Christians, you are going to die.
Yeah.
Should have listened. Yeah. Should have listened.
Yeah. Yeah. You really need to listen to that part. Also, this episode, we had our first big celebrity interview. Yes. Our apologies to Mr. Lobo, of course. But, oh, man, I still can't believe that. I still can't believe our big, massive celebrity interview. I still can't believe we somehow managed to score such a big-time interview. Like, we really, and the great thing is we didn't ask him. He asked us to be on the show. He asked us to interview him because he was such a big fan.
Yes.
First off, because we just finished interviewing him, so let's just talk a little bit behind the scenes. First thing I gotta say, man, Tom Hanks really is as nice as everyone says he is. That kind of blew me away. He had kind of like one of those sort of nice dad vibes, you know? Seemed like a nice guy.
I'm just always amazed how you never know who you're going to run into at the loaf and jug.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. Although I will say, if there was a negative, I was surprised by how nasty a potty mouth Tom Hanks has. Mm-hmm. I guess, anytime you ever hear him talking, he's reading scripts, going over other people's lines. I guess I don't know when the last time was I heard Tom Hanks just being Tom Hanks. So he was cussing up a freaking storm and saying such nasty things about the Portuguese.
Yes.
Like what does Tom Hanks have against the Portuguese people, I wonder? Mm-hmm. Like, that's definitely a story. I want to get to the bottom of that. I guess we'll have to have Tom Hanks on again to try and figure out exactly where his absolute vicious, nasty hatred of the Portuguese people comes from, because I have no clue.
No.
I have no clue. What movie did he film there? Yeah, I'm pretty sure he didn't do Mazes and Monsters in like Portugal.
And especially Portugal, because Portugal is one of those countries like Belgium. You know, it's one of those countries that we know it's there. We just don't give much of a fuck about it.
All I know about Belgium is that they are famous for their waffles.
Yes.
And you know what else Belgium has? Belgians.
Mm-hmm.
Beyond that, I am a little bit clueless. But
I believe it's the only place with Belgians.
yeah. But oh my God, Tom Hanks hates Portuguese people. You heard it here first on the Pope on Film podcast. Tom Hanks hates Portuguese people.
Yes.
Blew me away. And of course, the most amazing thing so far in this episode, at least in my mind, was when my wife, Natasha, you may have missed it, she's usually a bit of a gruff, angry sort of person, but she really did like a whole 180 or 360 or some sort of degrees, 98 degrees, because she dressed up as Shirley Temple and did a tap dance number while singing The Good Ship Lollipop in a baby type voice.
Mm-hmm. Yes, she did.
And that blew me away. And we recorded the whole thing here. We recorded it live on Periscope. You probably missed it.
And it was a bit more than that, because while she was doing it, she also professed her support of the gay people, and that was part of where the tears were coming from as well. So, you know, it was sweet, it was touching, and it was important. You know, it was one of those things that people need to hear more these days.
Yeah. I was quite impressed with her rendition of The Good Ship Lollipop. Bunny, do you think you could sing a bit like Natasha did earlier on the show?
Me? Let's see here. On the good ship, lollipop.
That's good, but her voice was a bit more of like a high-pitched baby, sort of like a Shirley Temple sounding voice. She really went with the baby's talk.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you could just try that again.
Which is always so unusually hot for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah. But I just want to get it perfect for all of those people who missed this very historic part earlier in the podcast. So if you could just do, take two. Sort of.
On the good ship, lollipop. Nah, I'm just...
that was good. That was good.
My vocal cords just ain't built that way, man.
Yeah, but E for effort. You did good there. You did good. So, I know that this is different for you, because when Natasha, I know it was difficult for you to do that, because when Natasha did it, you were just moved to tears.
Yes.
Tears. So I understand, Bunny, if by singing that, it might move you to tears now. I understand. If you get a little bit choked up, a little bit verklempt, I understand.
Yeah.
I understand. So, try and keep it in.
On the good ship.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. You know what? Let's just move on. Now, already, wow. An historic episode of the Pope on Film. So much has happened that you, the listener, probably missed.
Yes.
And believe me, I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking to yourself. You're listening to this episode and you're thinking to yourself, God, that Steve Zwang must be thick as hell. And you know what? You'd be right. But you're probably also thinking to yourself, hey, self, there's no way Bunford and Steve could in any way top this already historic episode. And you, my friend, would be crazy-ass wrong.
Yes.
You should just get out of here with your bitch-ass face. Because finally, after 130-something other episodes of this so-called film, with finger quote film podcast. I don't like saying finger quotes. I like saying finger 9/11s.
Yes.
Finger Twin Towers. Hashtag never forget. After 130-something other episodes of the so-called film podcast with Finger 9/11s, we are finally covering Tommy freaking Wiseau! Finally! Oh, hi, Bunny. Oh, hi, Bunny. How you doing?
Oh, hi, Tommy.
I love you, Bunny. This podcast is tearing me apart, Bunny! Yes, finally, after all of these freaking episodes, Bunny and Steve are finally I tried to go for The Rock on that one. I think I did pretty good.
Yeah, not bad.
Finally, covering the 2003 indie bad movie masterpiece, The Room!
Yay!
And if I could just skip to the end of this podcast for a minute, if I may.
Okay.
This film is just jam-packed with morals. So many morals. Number one, all women are bitches and are not to be trusted.
Yes.
That's a moral of The Room. Breast cancer, not a big-ass deal.
No.
Yeah. It doesn't matter. You'll get better. It's just breast cancer. Let's move on. Spoons can be art.
Mm-hmm.
Worthy of framing on your nightstand in a room. It might not be the room, but a room.
A room.
In fact, anything can be art. That's why art is a fucking ripoff. And finally, sometimes this is the biggest moral of The Room. Sometimes it is absolutely possible to succeed by failing.
Yes.
That is basically the biggest takeaway from The Room. And it's a question, really. And I think about this a lot. And I tend to think about this a lot while watching The Room. I've watched this movie a number of times. For Bunny, this was like watch number one.
Yes.
But I think about this a lot. What if your biggest failure was your greatest success?
Mm-hmm. Well, first it seems like that's part of it is just life in America. If you fuck up big enough, you'll be successful.
Yes. Somehow, I'm not exactly sure how, but somehow that's very American.
You have to fuck up on a big enough scale, and then you'll be famous. You know, I mean, make a sex tape, you will have a reality show. That's how it goes.
Yeah. So, like Tommy Wiseau is almost a tragic character because he tried so hard to make what he considered to be the greatest drama of all time, and instead he created the greatest comedy of all time, and people all over America spend large amounts of money to laugh at his mistake.
Oh God, it's leather.
But what I can say about that is at least I appreciate that he attempted to make a real drama. Okay?
Yeah.
And that's what I've said to other people because they were like, oh, we'll make this movie and we'll make it really cheesy. And I'm like, yeah, and it'll suck. It'll suck really bad because you're not putting any care. You're not putting any. You're just going to make something cheesy. Cheesy is the fallback position. That's what Tommy did. He tried to make a drama. It sucked. It sucked a lot. And because of it, he's got a great cheesy, campy movie.
Yeah. Like, this is what I think of when I think of The Room and when I think of Tommy Wiseau. Here's an example. Vinko Bogataj. That is an actual name of an actual person, Slovenian.
I had that as a child. My parents were anti-vaxxers.
Oh, yeah, you had Vinko Bogataj.
Yeah.
Vinko Bogataj was a successful Slovenian athlete. He had success. He was good. He was well known. He had a long and successful career that no one remembers. No one remembers his successes. No one remembers his long career. And let me tell you why no one remembers. That is because Vinko Boga Goofy Toofy Pull Up Your Pants.
Yes.
He is only known
You mean pull down your pants, eh?
as the agony of defeat guy.
Oh, okay. I remember him well.
He had a successful. Oh shit!
Australian
You got me.
Slovenia.
You got me. Foster's Australian for drunk.
Yeah, but it's hot, so I gotta put it
Oh, okay. I love you. And honey, you know what? Can you come over here for a second?
I sure can. Give me a minute.
Okay. It's just we were talking in the beginning of our discussion of the room about all of the historical things that have happened so far on the show. We had Tom Hanks on. That was a big interview. He hates Portuguese people, which it blew us away.
Obama, right?
Yeah, Jeannie gave birth to
Twins? Triplets?
oh no.
Quintuplets.
It's
Yeah.
amazing. And it blew me away. But the part that really just floored us was when you dressed up as Shirley Temple and sang the Good Ship Lollipop.
Well, I did a damn good Shirley Temple.
You did. Your voice was so high when you were like you had that like baby type of.
No, I'm not doing it.
Oh, come on! Oh, I guess you don't want to do it again.
I don't. I mean, performance anxiety. It's been a while.
I gotcha.
haven't performed like that in a really long time. You know how it is, Steve.
Yeah, no, I do. 10-4. 10-4. So.
Yes, go away.
Vinko Bogataj had a successful career, but he had one really nasty wipeout that played once a week from 1961 to 1998 on ABC.
Yes.
His life and successes and accomplishments have all been erased, and now he is known only for his one failure. How must that feel? How must that feel to have a successful career, but now everyone knows you only for failing? Not only that, but he was one of the greatest failures. He was the agony of defeat.
And especially that guy, like, I don't think I could ever watch that again. You know, like, if that was me, like not being him, I can watch it all the fucking time because it's so awesome of a defeat.
Yeah.
But if I was him, I don't think I can even I could even like ever look at that again.
Yeah. Yeah. And not only that, but not only could you not look at it if you were that guy, but also everyone in the world is looking at it once a week.
Yes.
That's just amazing to me. And also just the pain in the ass of everyone wants to talk to you about your one big failure.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Like,
And-
I'm
and-
working on.
And what else can you really come up with to say except like you have no idea how bad that hurt.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, kind of like the story about how the guy who played Biff in the Back to the Future movies gives people a small 8x10 card that has the answers to every question he's always asked.
Nice.
Yes, it was amazing. No, we had no idea it would be such a huge film. No, we actually didn't get paid a lot. Yes, Michael J. Fox is amazing. And he has this, it's like this 8x10 card that he hands people, and it literally has every answer to everything he has always been asked over and over again since 1985.
Good on Biff.
Yeah. That basically, if I saw the guy who played Biff in Back to the Future, I'd ask him about his work in the movie The Heat.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, you were amazing as the captain in The Heat. What was Sookie like? I forgot her name. Melissa McCarthy. Was she ad-libbing a lot? I bet it was hard for you not to laugh. I can't think of any other movie he's been in, but that would be my one way to ask him a question that would not be a question he's asked a bajillion times. So anyway, in that sense, I do feel like a small bit of sympathy for the bizarre, weird creature known as Tommy Wiseau.
Yes.
For making what he absolutely, positively, 115% was certain to be the single greatest drama ever. And instead, it's the world's biggest fucking joke. That little quadcicles like you and I get to rip the fuck apart. Like, I feel slightly bad for the guy.
I can do a rewrite.
No, because it is. No, I'm sorry, I can't go along with this one because there's a big difference between Tommy Wiseau and the agony of defeat dude.
Yeah, no, I was going to say, I should say, I would feel bad for Tommy Wiseau if he wasn't such a huge fucking dick.
I can do a rewrite.
Tommy Wiseau still made a movie. You know,
Yeah.
he made a movie. He's gotten a career out of the fucking movie.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Oh, yeah.
More people than have a right to know his goddamn name.
Yeah.
So no, fuck him.
Yeah. He's an ass face. He thinks he's the next big thing. He thinks he's a genius. He's an ass.
Mm-hmm.
And he can be really fucking mean in interviews. Like, he gets really rude and like, yeah, no, he thinks he's the shit.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
He really
definitely
does.
not good.
Yeah, he really does think that he's the shit. Can you imagine how he's going to feel if the movie about his life wins Oscars? Like, this is some world-ending shit right here.
I'm gonna vote
I'm
for
really worried about what the future holds. But anyway, I was trying to... Tommy Wiseau is such a bizarre person. Like, he keeps changing the story of where he's from. He keeps changing the story of his background. He keeps saying that he's like Cajun.
it. Cajun.
Yeah, he has numerous times he's said that he's Cajun and that's his accent. Like, no, bad Tommy Wiseau. He just keeps changing the story of where he's from. No one is for sure where he's from, his childhood, his background. He spent
Well,
about
you know what that.
dollars making this movie. No one has any idea where that money came from. Like, he is really a big ass question mark. Basically,
You know what that means, then, though, don't you?
no,
He's a Bigfoot.
that's a possibility.
He's a Bigfoot.
I was
He
was
shaved down and blended into society. Because look,
Yeah.
he doesn't look human.
yeah. No, he does not. He does not look human.
Oh wait.
He looks about as human as a Metalunan.
Exactly. Yes.
I have a theory though.
What's your theory, honey?
Okay, he's got an accent.
Yes, he's got a bizarre
Is that what we're calling it? An accent?
kind.
Okay.
Yeah.
What if he was a secret child of deaf parents and they tried to talk to him, but because they were deaf, they couldn't quite talk? I mean, like, what's her name who was on Weeds that was deaf? She was on Supernatural. She played, they killed her off in last season. I was really pissed about it. Anyways,
Is that the last Mimsy? Is that who you're talking about? Marlene Matlin? Is that
No.
what you're talking
Marlene
about?
no, not her.
Okay.
But, like, what if his deaf parents didn't have a good handle on the English language? So he learned to speak from two deaf parents who happened to be rich. And when they died, he inherited all that money and then went on to make The Room.
Okay.
But that doesn't answer for where he's from.
Okay. I'm gonna piggyback on that. A deaf foreign woman had sex with Christopher Walken.
No. Because, again, he'd still have a better handle on the English language. And it doesn't seem to me like he
No, but
it
it's like
doesn't
a
look at his
bastard child. It's one of those
speech
like
therapy.
it's one of those like celebrity things where he went to like a Latveria,
Yeah.
and fucked a deaf woman and then took off.
Oh, okay. But why would his speech pattern mimic his father that he doesn't know?
It's all genetics, honey.
Excuse
Let me explain to you what I know about my science classes that I'm taking. There are
Are
things.
you mocking me?
No,
He's
No,
mocking me.
I'm not mocking you.
You are.
Mock. Now I'm mocking you. Ow. She punched me. I have it on audio. That doesn't work as well. I was going to say I have it on video, but that's neither here nor there. So I was trying to describe Tommy Wiseau. I was trying to figure out a way to describe Tommy Wiseau and describe the room. Number one, I'm 95% certain that Tommy Wiseau is an alien.
I'm going to stick with Bigfoot. I would go Olsen twins for an alien.
So this is my description.
Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift, yeah. This is my description of the room. This is how the room was made. I am 100% certain of this.
Okay.
Just makes sense.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I worked really hard on this description, and I'm going to be going to like a different place here, but just follow me on this, okay?
Okay.
Way far away in a distant galaxy, in a completely different, in a space different from our space, in a completely different
Other
galaxy,
space.
in an other space, so far away, there is a tiny small planet
Oh,
of
no.
tiny green people.
Okay.
Okay. Now, this alien planet is in a completely different galaxy. A small planet filled with tiny alien people. They're ruled by a king, an emperor, I should say. And the emperor has a number of people that work below him. And basically, that's the government. And they speak an alien language. They're green. They're all green people. And they have bizarre bone structures, and they're taller, and it's very bizarre. Anyway,
I think it's time Nate Roos.
they have now we broadcast. We have a lot of signals, radio signals, and digital signals, and analog and stuff going out into space,
Yeah.
and so far away is this alien planet. And they are so far away that they believe that they are the only people in the universe, but they are really the only people in their universe, and there's a number of different universes, and they just believe that like we do here on Earth, they believe that they are the only people out there, and that the entire galaxy is just theirs, and they basically stay on Earth, on their planet, and they dream of what aliens might be like in faraway places. Well, one day, the king's scientists are all in a tizzy, and they go to the king, and they say, "We have received a signal."
Uh-huh.
And that this alien planet, who only know about their own alien life and alien cultures, they have finally received broadcast signals from our planet, from Earth. One weird caveat, though, they're only getting the Lifetime network. But here's the thing, it's an alien planet. Number one, they've never seen Earthicans before.
Mm-hmm.
They've never heard our language, sounds weird to them. And they don't know that they're watching a cable network. They don't know that they're watching made-for-TV cheesy movies. They don't understand what a movie is, what this entertainment is that they're watching. They get these broadcasts and they go, "Oh, this must be these aliens trying to tell us about themselves. This must be the aliens trying to explain to us about their life, their people. We need to have people study this. We need someone to study this, to watch this broadcast and report back to us. We need someone. Fetch me the record keeper." And suddenly The entire planet is abuzz. Oh, the king wants the record keeper. Did you hear? The king has called for the record keeper. The record keeper? Well, why does he need the record keeper? We need to get the record keeper. Fetch the record keeper! And so the king, the emperor, has a bunch of people that work under him and stuff. Well, the record keeper is literally the lowest level person who works for the king. He works in like the sub basement.
Yeah.
It's just
Hates
it's
his
just
fucking job.
yeah, it's just him. He's lonely, and literally his job is just he's got these big books, and it's his job to record every important thing in history. He's writing about births and deaths and jobs that people get and people lose and crime, and it's boring, and it's just him, and he has no life, and he dreams of bigger things, but he's just in the basement writing the history. He is the record keeper, but suddenly he is called. The whole planet is abuzz, and it's like, the record keeper? The emperor wants me? Why does the emperor want me? And he's carried by the alien people into the throne room, and he's never been to the throne room before. He's literally the lowest level employee for basically the government. Like, even trash men are held to a higher esteem than the record keeper, because at least the trash men get to touch the emperor's trash.
Yes.
This is just a guy in a windowless room writing all day. He's literally the lowest of the low, but suddenly he is called to the emperor, and the emperor is there and say, "Lowly record keeper, I have the most important task. We are receiving broadcasts from aliens. It is in a strange language we do not understand. We believe they are trying to tell us something. We need to know about these people, what their language is, what they believe in, what their day-to-day life is. So you must sit here for as long as it takes. Watch all of these messages, these broadcasts. You must study them. You must learn from them. And you must give us your findings. You must give us your findings on these Earthicans." The record keeper goes, "Okay, I will watch these, and I will get back to you. Thank you, Emperor. This is indeed an important job, but I never fear. I will learn about these aliens and tell you everything I can learn from these broadcasts about what their life is." So he sits down, and for a day he watches nothing but the Lifetime Network. For a week he watches nothing but the Lifetime Network. For 2 weeks, for a month, for 2 months, the record keeper just sits there and watches the Lifetime Network. He's watching Tori Spelling movies.
Mm-hmm.
Daddy, can I sleep with slaps? My boyfriend is my sex slave. Julie's betrayal, a true cheerleading story. Reruns of Dallas and Melrose Place. The record keeper is watching these, and he thinks that this is what Earthlings do. This is Earthlings' life.
Mm-hmm.
So finally, he's ready to show his findings, and the entire planet is abuzz, and everyone's so excited, and the record keeper shows up and says, I have watched 4 straight months of this Earth broadcasting, and I have learned exactly what a typical day is in the life of one of these aliens, and I have put it into this script. I call it The Room. That is how this movie was made. It was made by aliens in an attempt. No, this is how this movie was made. It was made by aliens in order to try and describe our culture. But all that they've done, All that they know about Earthlings comes from the Lifetime Network. It makes absolute sense. It's the only way to explain the movie The Room. It is perfect. It is a perfect analogy. This film was made by aliens. Tommy Wiseau is an alien. Technically, he is the record keeper.
It makes sense to me.
It makes sense more than the actual story of the making of this film. Which I am going to do now. It is story time, ladies and gentlemen. Maxwell, get down from there. That is a couch. It is not a jungle gym. Please stop. I don't know how many times I have to have this conversation with you. Please listen to what I'm saying and pay attention and do what I say. Like a normal child would do a normal parent. Can you do that, Maxwell? I'll take that as a yes. So, the story of the making of The Room is a weird one and a bizarre one, and it's still continuing to this day. The basic story is this. A mysterious rich man, a suspiciously rich man,
Okay.
a suspiciously foreign rich man from literally parts unknown, like a WWF wrestler. I didn't say E, I said F.
Mm-hmm.
Decides to write, produce, and direct and star in a feature film based on a play he wrote, based on an unfinished 700-page novel he was working on. The play was originally going to be entirely set in one single room, hence the title of the film. He makes his ridiculously overdramatic drama with a budget of $6 million.
That had a budget of $6 million?
Yes, but I should note that $6 million budget includes advertising, and he advertised the shit out of this. He bought a billboard on Sunset Boulevard
Yeah.
for this movie. There were commercials on LA TV shows for this movie. He bought massive ads in like LA newspapers for this movie. He spent a shit ton on advertising. In fact, probably more on advertising than in the actual making of the fucking movie. Also,
there can't be much money for the goddamn movie.
Yeah. Yeah, so, but still, $6 million. How did he get the $6 million? No one knows. Maybe he's good at raising money. Maybe the money comes from illegal activities or possibly from the mob or the mafia, and he's money laundering it through this film, which is an actual theory that some people have. Maybe not. Maybe his business, buying leather jackets in foreign countries and selling them in America, is just a multi-million-dollar business.
Possibly.
Maybe his store is really successful. He had a store in LA where he sold fake Levi's. Maybe that's just $1 million business. But
he sold fake Levi's?
Yes. He had a store where he sold fake Levi's and leather jackets that he would get from foreign countries. He would get leather jackets in foreign countries and sell them in America, and then get leather jackets in America and sell them in foreign countries. Maybe that's just how you can get $6 million. The point is, no one knows where he gets this fucking money from, and people really should be caring more about that, because that's some suspicious shit. Here's a man, we don't know where he's from. We do not know his country of origin. We don't know his backstory, his childhood, and he just has $6 million to spend on a movie. There's some suspicious shit going on.
Yes.
So already, this is a big-ass question mark. Tommy Wiseau is notoriously stingy with personal info, so where he's from, his childhood, how he raised the money, and most importantly, where his fucking accent comes from. These are all a mystery. All a big-ass mystery.
You know who might know? You know who might know?
Who?
And I don't think anybody thought to ask him. Biff.
It's a good point. That's a good point. I was
Biff.
going to say the emperor of the planet where he's from, but that's neither here nor there. The film stars Tommy Wiseau and co-stars a young acting and modeling hopeful named Greg Sestero. Tommy Wiseau and Greg Sestero met in an acting class in L.A., and so Tommy Wiseau is all like, "Hey, Greg, we are both friends now. You should be in my film. I'm going to be a filmmaker and make a film. And when I make the film, you should be my co-star." And Greg Sestero is just laughing in his face and going, "Yeah, sure, buddy. Yeah, sure. If you make a film, oh yeah, I'll totally be your co-star. That's totally gonna happen.
Yeah.
I promise. When you raise millions of dollars to make a film, I'll totally be in it with you."
Oddly,
Wink, wink.
that's very similar to the Mel Brooks Gene Wilder story.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
So
Mel
that-
Brooks had met Gene Wilder backstage at a play that they were attending and offered him the producers, and Gene Wilder was like, "Yeah, okay. When you get financing for a movie about a play that fails and has a song, Springtime for Hitler, then give me a call."
Yeah, that's basically Tommy Wiseau and Greg Sestero.
So Tommy Wiseau in this case is Mel Brooks.
That's probably the first and last time that anyone will ever say that in the history of mankind.
And you heard it here first, people.
Another historic moment for the Pope on Film podcast.
That's right.
So then Tommy Wiseau is all, "Oh, hi, Greg. I have $6 million. Are you ready to star in my movie with me?" And Greg Sestero is all, "Shit." Because of all the people in this movie, Greg Sestero is vaguely successful.
Yeah.
He had a regular, small, reoccurring part on Days of Our Lives.
Yeah.
He had a small part in Patch Adams. He had a tiny role in Gattaca.
Nice.
The man was going somewhere. Very slow, but he was fucking going somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's got to be in this shit burger. Because he promised, like a dumbass. So he's like, okay, Tommy. I promised I'd be in your movie, and I will, but I'm just going to work behind the scenes and shit. I don't want to be in the film. Just want to be clear. I don't want to be behind the camera. I'll be behind the scenes, help you out.
You don't want to be in front of the camera.
Which makes him Vampira.
Yeah,
Mhm.
basically. Yeah. So,
Can
so
I
they
be
start-
mute?
Yeah. So they start filming, and a week in, Tommy Wiseau goes to the co-star of the film and says, "You know what? You're not working out. You're fired. Hey, look, best friend Greg, there's a part that's open, and we already have the cameras here. Hey, let's get my best friend Greg in here to co-star in this movie. Oh, hi, Greg." And Greg Sestero's all, "Shit, again." And again, back to the $6 million. There is a suspicious amount of questions about the making of this film. For example, looking at the credits, there are 3 executive producers listed. There are 3 producers listed. Tommy Wiseau, and 2 women. When this film started getting big, suddenly there's like a million people who want to know information about this film. So some astute people went, because this film exploded the way it did, suddenly everyone wants more knowledge about anyone who in any way touched this film, basically. So they went looking for the other 2 producers. One of the producers was dead and has been for a very long fucking time.
Okay.
Therefore, she could not have been a producer in this film. And the other one is a fairly poor old woman from Oakland, California.
Okay, that's fucked up.
So basically, Tommy Wiseau made up the other two producers.
Yeah.
Kind of like Donald Trump's best friend, Paul, who he mentions.
Yes.
Oh, I have a friend, Paul, who used to go to Paris, but now he doesn't because Paris is horrible. Oh, wait, I didn't say Paris was horrible. That was my friend.
Yeah.
Basically, that's Tommy Wiseau in the making of this film. So they make the movie. Originally, the script was much, 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 much longer and with a lot of nonsensical shit. And also...
not like the finished version.
Yeah. And also, Tommy Wiseau does not have a good control of the English language. You know what it reminds me of? Because although he refuses to admit it, can you not be screaming? I'm trying to record a podcast, Maxwell! Thank you. So despite the fact that he claims that he's Cajun, he obviously, English is not his first language, and yet he wrote this American movie. I liken it to Troll 2.
Okay.
Going back to another movie we've done here on the podcast, Troll 2 was an American film written in broken English by two Italians.
Yes.
Basically, that's the root. Here's this foreign guy who understands English writing what he thinks is going to be the next Rebel Without a Cause.
Yes.
Filming took forever. It took over 6 months, and Greg Sestero was quoted as saying, Transformers movies were quicker to make than The Room. It was filmed in L.A., but Tommy Wiseau, and you really have to say his whole name. I can't. I am physically incapable of just calling this man Tommy. He's Tommy Wiseau. So Tommy Wiseau wanted his film to be set in San Francisco, the birthplace of noir.
Okay.
He filmed most of the movie in a cheap-ass soundstage in L.A. Then, for like a few days, him and his crew went over to San Francisco to film some like exterior shots, and everything else was CGI'd in. There's some bad CGI in this fucking movie.
I really didn't notice, and I'm surprised because I'm usually pretty dialed into things like that. I think it's just because I just didn't fucking care enough. You know? I watched the Rift Track version, and they mentioned it a few times, and I was like, well, that doesn't make sense to CGI a roof when it would probably be cheaper and easier to get a roof.
Not if you're filming the entire thing in LA. And they only had like a day or two to do shots in San Francisco. And they found roofs, but none of them were perfect. They wanted a perfect like skyline, a perfect San Francisco skyline, and they couldn't find it in any of the roofs that were available in San Francisco. So Tommy Wiseau decided, I'm just going to CGI it. No one will know this. It's okay, baby. But there's some bad CGI in this. I've seen better CGI in a Birdemic movie. No, wait, never mind. They're both equally horrible in the CGI department.
Yeah.
I can't ever say that Birdemic is better in anything.
No.
So they make the film. It's so bad that the cast and crew kept cracking up on set. And Tommy Wiseau would be getting all pissed off. In fact, in the book about the making of the film, which we will get to later, Greg Sestero discusses at length the making of the film. And, well, basically, the film was Donald Trumped.
Okay.
You know how Donald Trump has no fucking idea what he's doing?
Yeah.
Like, he does
I've noticed
speeches
that.
and Yeah, and he's good at rallies and stuff, but really has no clue about politics or how government works or the day-to-day life of a president. That's Tommy Wiseau as the writer, producer, director. He has no idea how to make a fucking film. For example, one of the reasons why the budget... Maxwell, can you please lower your voice? This is like the 30th time I've said that. Okay, please. Can you stop yelling at Bella, please? Okay? Okay? Oh my goodness, this boy. Do they make 5-year-old NyQuil? Like NyQuil, baby NyQuil.
You would have to go to a really old store, and the box
Okay.
will be dusty.
All right. But it might be worth it.
Yeah.
I'll see what I can find. One of the reasons why the budget was so high is that when you make a movie, you like rent the equipment that you need. But
Right, usually.
But Tommy Wiseau decided to buy all of it.
Yeah.
Not only that, but he also had a dream of being the first movie to ever film everything in both regular, like 35 millimeter, and digital.
Okay.
So he bought 2 of everything.
That's
And
stupid.
and then he would film a shot with the regular 35 millimeter, and he'd do it like 5 or 10 times to get it right. And then he'd go, okay, now let's switch equipment and do it with the digital. And then he ended up not using any of the digital.
Oh, man.
So he's just burning money left and right, number one. And then number two, the crew fucking hates him because for whatever reason, he decided that whatever they were filming, no matter what it was, the entire cast and crew had to be there.
Oh, God.
So if on this day, they're just working on Lisa and Lisa's mom, fucking Denny has to be there. The entire everyone had to be there. And then this shit's taking 6 months to film.
Yeah.
And yet everyone in the cast and crew had to be there for the entire time. So if you're like Peter the psychiatrist and you're only in like 3 scenes, you're going to want to fucking kill yourself.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if you got the money and you want to do something that has a noirish flavor, which I'm still kind of surprised at that idea when we're talking about this movie. You would want film. Why the fuck would you want digital? If you want digital, you make the digital out of the film.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's all there is to it. And how much did he have again? $6 million?
Yeah, he ended up spending $6 million on this.
Like you can't drop $1 million. I find that hard to believe that you can't drop $1 million on a roof.
I don't know.
And get a real fucking roof somewhere.
But he wanted it to look exactly. You know how like if you see a movie like in the 1940s or 1950s and it's set in Paris, every window has a perfect view of the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah.
He wanted his roof scene to just have that perfect San Francisco Golden Gate Bridge fucking skyline, and he couldn't find it, so he CGI'd the perfect shot.
Yeah, but I'm saying that roof has to exist in San Francisco somewhere, and you can get it for $1 million.
Yeah, and he's already burning through money, so what's a little bit more to get the fucking shot that he wants? There's a lot of questions that this movie raises. A lot of bizarre, strange, suspicious-ass questions. So back to Trumping.
Mm-hmm.
Tommy Wiseau had no idea to make a film. He had no idea of the ins and outs and the day-to-day and how to make a film. He'd never made one before. This is his debut film.
Yes.
So back to Donald Trump. He has no fucking clue how to be president. Remember when Donald Trump was shopping for a vice president and he's like interviewing a potential candidate and he's like, if you get on Donald Trump's ticket, you will be in charge of both foreign and domestic affairs.
Yeah. You'll be president.
Yeah, and then the vice president's like, well, wait a second. That's the entirety of everything. What would Donald Trump be in charge of? Oh, he'd be in charge of making America great again. So basically, Donald Trump isn't president. Jared Kushner is president. Paul Manatee is president.
Yes.
Real life Care Bears bad guy Steve Bannon is president. T-Rex Tillerson is president. Not this orange-skinned, walking, talking sexual harassment lawsuit. And basically, that was the making of The Room. Tommy Wiseau didn't know what the fuck he was doing, so a large portion of the film was actually done by the cast and crew without Tommy Wiseau. A lot of this film was actually what the cast and crew felt was Tommy Wiseau's vision, but wasn't actually done by Tommy Wiseau. Like they're doing the movie, and Tommy Wiseau goes, "Okay, that was perfect. Hey, that was great. Good job, everybody. That's a wrap." And Tommy Wiseau leaves, and then the rest of the crew is like, "Okay, so what did we fuck up? What did he fuck up there?" Okay. Well, I tried telling him, and he said it didn't matter, but the sound was horrible in this scene, and we need to do that scene again. Okay, guys, we're doing this scene again. In fact, eventually, Tommy Wiseau is sued by like a second unit director who claims actually directed the whole thing.
That's a bold claim. I mean...
Yeah. Why would you want to lay claim to The Room? But apparently, when The Room got big, suddenly this movie is actually making a shit ton of money. And okay, I can understand you wanting to put your name on this,
Yeah.
finance-wise. So, Tommy Wiseau made this movie, but it wasn't 100% made by Tommy Wiseau, which essentially makes the US of A the room of countries. So, yay!
Yes, it does. Our finest moment.
Yeah. So, half a year of madness making this freaking movie. Tommy Wiseau still thinks he's making a masterpiece. This film is the greatest drama that's ever been written. People will think that I am amazing. I am the greatest director. Meanwhile, Greg Sestero is sweating bullets, like repeatedly looking himself in the mirror and saying, "Look, Greg, no one will ever see this. No one will ever see this. No one will ever see you in this. Straight to DVD. Maybe it'll play on Cinemax 9 at 2 a.m. No one's going to see you in this. You can still have bit parts in big movies and maybe make it big one day. No one's going to see The Room ever." So after a long-ass time in post, the film is ready. Tommy Wiseau burns more money by paying a small handful of theaters in LA to run the movie for just 2 weeks. Just 2 weeks, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So The Room is playing for only 2 weeks. That's the only time that Tommy Wiseau can get. And only in like 2 or 3 theaters in LA. And that's it. So they have their premiere. Tommy Wiseau shows up in a limousine. He's wearing a tux. The whole 10 yards. He advertises hard in this. Bad TV commercials. A few print ads. He works on the book on the making of the fucking film. He even gets a billboard. Sunset fucking Boulevard. That is a shit ton of money right there.
Mm-hmm.
So they have the premiere, and of course a shit ton of people walk out. People are cracking up like crazy. In fact, there's a still for the movie, and I saw it just this morning, and it's a still from the movie, and it's so great because it's James Franco and his brother Dave Franco, and they're sitting in the theater in a scene which is obviously going to be set at the premiere because it's Dave Franco as Greg Sestero, and he's cracking up, and he's super happy, and he's pointing at the screen, and he's laughing. Meanwhile, right next to him in sunglasses is an absolutely shocked and ashamed James Franco. Because he's still under the impression that this is the greatest movie of all time. And no, he's getting laughed. He's getting laughed out of the fucking theater. She wants the whole banana. I can't give her the whole banana. What? Okay, have fun with this whole banana. This is going to be a mess, Eleanor.
It is, but we'll clean her up. You can give her back when you're done.
Okay. We're trying to feed the baby a banana.
Why are you chewing the bottom? The bottom is not
Don't
what I eat.
You don't eat the peel.
She does, though, and that's crazy.
Yeah, that's really weird.
Why do monkeys do that?
Yeah, and they fling their poop.
Yep.
She perfectly said that. Yup. I'm eating the peel, Mom. So what?
Here. I bet you it feels good on her gums.
Maybe. Wow. Thank you for the kiss, Eleanor. Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to put this banana here if you feel like eating it. Have fun with the peel. So the premiere is a train wreck. Everybody hates it. A bunch of people were there. You know who else was there?
Who was there?
Variety.
Okay.
They review the film. The review is about 2 paragraphs. They were not kind.
What they say.
They called it,
Shit
quote,
sandwich.
and that's it. They called it, quote, a movie that prompts most of its viewers to ask for their money back before even 30 minutes has passed. They call Tommy Wiseau freakish and a narcissist and, quote, unusual looking and sounding. Oh, yeah. They call The Room, quote, overall ludicrousness. In fact, here's the best part. Later on in the book about the making of the film, Greg Sestero quotes an audience member whom he overheard at the preview saying, quote, I'm sorry, this is so good. One audience member says at the preview, and I quote, I may never get hard again.
That's
that is
yeah.
wonderful.
Yeah. The sex scenes were kind of having that effect on me as well, I think.
Yeah.
It was like, and I've seen some weird shit.
Yeah, no, I know you have.
And there was nothing particularly weird about the sex scenes in this movie, except that Tommy Wiseau was in them.
Yeah.
And that was kind of stomach turning.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So, like, I love that quote. I may never get hard again. That's right up there with whichever one was the fat one in Siskel and Ebert.
Yes.
Which one was the fat one? Ebert was the fat one.
Ebert. Yes.
Why does that one have to live? He's an asshole. And we had the whole conversation.
Yeah. So one of his first big tastes of fame was his very early on review of Caligula, where he quoted a woman in the audience as saying, "This is a piece of shit."
Hey, are we letting her eat that? I thought she was just going to spit it out, but she's literally eating it.
No, she's literally eating the peel. I'm not going to stop her. She's just going to scream. I've had enough screams of this baby on this podcast. The nuggets are still cooling down. So anyway, the film ended up making $1,800 during that 2-week engagement.
Nice.
And that
good
should
haul.
have been...
Good return on investment.
Yeah. Yeah, $1,800 in a $6 million investment. There's been worse box offices, but that should have been it. That should have been the end of The Room.
Yes.
The cult happened about a week into that 2-week engagement. A screenwriter, a very popular comedy screenwriter, an author, a improv actor,
Amateur tattoo artist.
Yeah. He also is like a co-writer for what will eventually, this is before then, but you know that really offensive comic strip Cyanide and Happiness?
Yes.
Yeah, he writes that.
Okay.
And he's very well known in LA, and he's this offensive comedy writer. His name is Michael Rousselette. He's driving down Sunset Boulevard like every day. He keeps seeing this billboard, and the billboard is literally just a close-up of Tommy Wiseau's weird fucking face. Really bizarre. And eventually he says, I got nothing better to do. Fuck it, I'm gonna go see this fucking movie.
Okay.
He sees it, and it's only about a week into the 2-week engagement. He sees it in an essentially empty theater. And I have done that a couple of times before, going to a movie theater that's empty. You get all excited, like, oh my god, it's just me. I'm going to put my feet up. I'm going to be fucking talking through it. This is so exciting. I'm going to be texting and shit. So he's watching this movie, and his jaw is on the floor. Literally, Entertainment Weekly eventually, way down the line, calls Michael Rousselette Patient Zero. Because this guy watches the movie and his jaw is on the floor. Later, Michael Rousselette quotes The Room. His first watching The Room is what he says is, it felt like I found my own private Mystery Science Theater.
Okay.
And at the end of that first showing, he immediately starts calling everyone he knows.
Yeah.
He's calling all of his friends, and he's like, oh my god, dude, you have got to see this fucking movie. He gets all of his buddies interested. He gets all of his buddies to go. And apparently, this guy is best friends with David Cross.
Okay.
So, within just a couple of days, despite common sense, The Room starts getting buzz. So on the last day of the 2-week engagement, somehow Michael Rousselette gets over 100 people to go see the movie.
Okay.
And big names too. Like Patton Oswalt goes.
Yes.
Like Seth Rogen is there all high.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like a 6-month period in time where if you do a movie with Paul Rudd goes, oh, hey, I'm glad to be working together. Hey, I got a question for you. Have you heard of this film, The Room? Oh my god, you haven't? We have to go see this. They're all early believers. Yeah. So anyway, 2 weeks. That's all he had. 2 weeks, and that's it. Shortly afterwards, Tommy Wiseau starts getting flooded. Calls, emails, people begging him to show his movie again. Now, the dude's got to be torn because people are like, hey, you're Tommy Wiseau. You made that movie The Room. Oh my god, I heard it's the worst film of all time. You have to show it at my theater. So that's got to be torn. You got to be torn. You've really got to be like the Last Temptation of Christ and shit. Like, oh my god, they hate my movie.
Mm-hmm.
But oh my god, they want to pay to make fun of my movie.
A very mixed feeling. Yes.
Yeah. So that's how, boom, shit starts happening. Tommy Wiseau is like, okay, you can do my movie, but only show it at midnight, once a month. So they start doing midnight showings at the prestigious Lemley Sunset Theater
Yeah.
in fucking LA. And it becomes the cool place to be. Celebrities start showing up. Fucking bands, like famous ass bands and lead singers and famous people start showing up to these things. Like paparazzi are there at the room to see what celebrities are going to come, like drunk or stoned, to make fun of this fucking movie. Tommy Wiseau starts regularly appearing and answering questions. People start Rocky Horroring it. They go dressed in fucking tuxedos and sunglasses and throwing plastic spoons and shit.
Mm-hmm.
The strange popularity of this shitty film gets traction. Entertainment Weekly releases like a 3-page article about it. That's how I first heard about The Room. NPR does a bit about it. Then Tim and Eric, the weird-ass guys from Tim and Eric Awesome Show, great job,
Yeah.
on Adult Swim, they get Tommy Wiseau to host their already weird-ass show. And that's when things start getting crazy. Tommy Wiseau gets so much buzz, he releases it on DVD. They open the movie in New York and freaking London.
Oh god.
And then the typical things that come with modern day fame happen. There's The Room, the video game. There's a stage version of it. There's a musical because, of course, it's playing all over the place. I've had like 1 or 2 chances to see The Room in theaters, and I just haven't because I'm not paying money to see this fucking shitty ass film.
No.
I refuse to put money in any way in Tommy Wiseau's pocket. And the craziest part, one of the craziest parts of all of this, is that Greg Sestero, who is like a wannabe model, wannabe actor, and now his acting career is ruined because of this one film he did for a friend. But he also dreamed of being a writer. He eventually parlays all of this fucking madness into a book deal.
Nice.
So while Tommy Wiseau is busy doing shit parts in Samurai Cop 2 and desperately trying to get another project off the ground, Greg Sestero writes a book. It's called The Disaster Artist. It's about his own life and the making of The Room and Tommy Wiseau's story through his eyes. It gets great fucking reviews. One magazine called it one of the top 10 best nonfiction books of the year.
Oh my god.
So suddenly, a book about the worst film of all time is considered one of the best books of all time. That's when things started getting. That's when things got turned around. That's when things got so fucking crazy. The book is so good that James Franco comes along.
Okay.
He's got a film company, and he goes, I'm going to option the rights to the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And at first, that's not a big deal. It's like, okay, well, he has his own film company. He just bought the rights to the movie. Okay, people do that to books now all the time. It is a regular common occurrence for a book to be released, and before the book is even printed, it has a movie deal.
Yeah.
That happens fucking all the time now. It's just a regular thing. That's just how it works now. So it's not a big deal. Then James Franco shocks the world by saying that just like fucking Tommy Wiseau, he is writing, producing, directing, and starring in the fucking movie. He's Tommy Wiseauing the Tommy Wiseau movie. It's Wiseauception.
It's Wiseauception, yeah.
Yeah. And his adorable ass younger brother, who plays the high school drug dealer from 21 Jump Street, Dave Franco. He's also in Warm Bodies. He's playing Greg Sestero. And also, the film is taking a long-ass time to come out. There's not even a fucking preview yet. Apparently, one of the reasons why is that not only is he writing and producing and directing and starring in the fucking movie, he's also editing the film.
I'm
James Franco
finding
is
myself
really,
see this could really be a great movie, okay? But
yeah.
I'm kind of hoping it fails badly. Because it deserves to fail badly. This piece of shit does not deserve more success. It's had more than it deserves. So I feel bad for having to wish that on James Franco, but I'm hoping it dies a horrible death.
Yeah,
A death it deserves.
I've been waiting since like 2014, 2015 for this movie to come out. And it's the middle of 2017 and the film hasn't come out yet. And apparently the reason for the like massive delay is literally he's editing the film. He's cutting and pasting it together. Literally, I wouldn't be surprised if he was also craft services, if somehow he was starring in the movie and was his own boom operator at the same time. Like literally, he's doing everything for this film.
Now, do you feel, as I have heard other people say, that this is like the Citizen Kane of bad movies? Do you actually like this movie?
I hate this movie, but I love hating this movie.
Okay. Because I'm trying to get a handle on this, because I've had people finding out that we were doing this movie, and I made a post on Facebook that I was watching it. People coming out and just loving this movie, and like, I'm having a hard time not feeling like they're just a bunch of fucking sheep.
Yeah.
You know, you like it because somebody else liked it, and can we just admit that this movie sucks?
This movie is fucking horrible. It's the absolute worst movie of all time. And I fucking hate it. But I love hating this film.
See, that I can wrap around. That's an idea that, is not unfamiliar to me.
Yeah. And also the way I first saw it was perfect.
Yeah.
I got a copy of the film.
A hospital waiting room, possibly?
No. But I got a copy of the film for free, and I said, one of these days I got to watch this fucking Room because everyone's talking about it, and I got a copy of it, and I should watch it. And then I never watched it.
Yeah.
And then someone gave me a copy of the riff tracks of the film, and I'm like, oh my god, now there's a riff track. Now I absolutely have to see it. I love riff tracks, and everyone says I have to watch this movie. I'm totally going to watch it. And then I never watched it. Okay. And then Natasha and I, one night, the kids were gone. It was just her and I in the house a long time ago. I believe we were still in California, if I'm not mistaken. And we were fighting, and we hated each other at the time. We were pissed off at each other. She wasn't talking to me, and I wasn't talking to her. We were sitting on the same couch, and I swear to God, at any second, we could fucking kill each other.
Okay.
Right? And, the silence starts getting to me, and I'm like, God damn it, like she won't talk to me, and I'm not talking to her. I'm not talking to her first. So what am I supposed to do? Just sit here and watch TV and just wait for the silence to just eat our souls? Like, what am I gonna do? Just fucking sit here? Fuck it, I'm watching The Room.
Okay.
So she's there, like, doing her own thing on her phone, and I'm like, I'm gonna get a fucking beer, and I'm gonna get more beer, and even more beer, and get wasted, and finally watch this fucking movie. So I watched it, like, out of rage.
Okay.
So
that sounds like a good place.
Natasha. So I rage watched it, and we hadn't talked to each other in so long, and the first thing that she says to me after a full 24 hours of us not talking to each other, the first thing she says is 10 minutes into the film, and she looks up and she just sees Tommy Wiseau's naked ass grinding on some vaguely attractive chick. What the fuck are you watching? I'm like, The Room, it's supposed to be horrible. And literally, the movie started and we hated each other. By the end of the film, we were literally right next to each other with our arms around each other, drinking like crazy and ripping the shit out of this fucking movie.
Nice.
Like, this movie brought us together because we hated each other, but we hated The Room more. And just like that fucking Breakfast at Tiffany's song, this was the one thing we had in common. And for years now, one thing that can always like bring a smile to our face is just at any time Natasha and I might look at each other and go, I definitely have breast cancer. And that's like a source of joy and pride to us.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I got a freaking soft spot for The Room. I love hating this movie.
Yeah.
I absolutely love this film. So James Franco is literally making this movie shot for shot, piece by piece, all by himself. He's editing the film. So I got excited when in the beginning of the year they said James Franco is going to be showing his movie The Disaster Artist at the Sundance Film Festival, and that's when I said, yes, that means we're getting close, because the film is going to be picked up, and it's going to be in theaters, so like by July, or August, or September, I'm going to finally be seeing the movie about The Room. I'm so excited, this is going to be huge. So James Franco shows up for the preview, and he says, thank you everybody for being here for the showing of this film. I just want to first take this time to say, this is a very rough, early first cut.
Yeah.
I'm not done with the film yet. And I'm like, shit! He's not done with the goddamn film. You've had 2.5 years, motherfucker! Finish the fucking movie! The hell is taking you so long? So, like, I've been dying for information, trying to figure it out. So, I have news.
Okay.
The movie, The Disaster Artist, it has been picked up by Warner Brothers, and it will be released at the end of the year, around December, right in time for award season, because a lot of people are saying Oscars, it's coming out at the end of the year. You know how I know that?
How?
That has not been announced. It hasn't been reported on. But I outsmarted people.
Okay.
I figured it out. Andy Kaufman did. I'm from Hollywood. I figured it out. I went looking up, like I'm working on the story of the making of this film, and I'm like, you know what? We have that book here at work, don't we? The Disaster Artist? I should look it up. Let me see if we have Greg Sestero's book. Okay, we have Greg Sestero's book. And then it says, here's the book. It's a paperback. It came out at this period in time. Here's the author. Here's the ISBN number. Here's the price. It's a paperback. And then it says on the bottom of there, other formats. And I go, oh, wait a second. Let me check other formats. Is there an audio version of this? That would be amazing. Is it read by Mark? Is it read by Hi Mark? That would be kind of interesting to have. I click that box, and brand new in our book system is the movie cover.
Oh.
It was just put into our system, and the movie cover comes out right before the book comes out to give like buzz, and the movie cover is coming out around the end of November.
Nice. Okay.
And the description of the movie cover is the same as the description of the regular book, except come see James coming soon. James Franco's The Disaster Artist, a Warner Brothers film coming out at the end of 2017. Boom! I figured it out.
Nice.
I'm the first person to figure this shit out. The Room is coming out at the end of the year. So that's a Pope on Film exclusive for your punk ass. And it's crazy because it's crazy because The Room is popular. Sure. And I think I've mentioned this before on the show. Having this movie with like James Franco and Dave Franco and the big ass names that they have attached to this, Bryan Cranston plays himself.
Okay.
And I'm not sure what Bryan Cranston has to fucking do with The Room, but he plays himself during Malcolm in the Middle.
Okay.
But this movie is going to be like a whole nother level. Like, I know The Room, you know The Room, we know Tommy Wiseau, but like by January, my mom will know Tommy Wiseau. That's a big, like, I can't, like, I can't wait for and am simultaneously so afraid of having to talk about this movie with my fucking mom. Oh, Stevie, have you seen that movie, The Room? It's about a bad movie, and I know you like the bad movies, Stevie. Like, God damn it, my brother's gonna eventually text me, "Hey, Stevie, what's up with this The Room? LOL, question mark."
Okay. See, right there. That right there. Okay. I think that's what I'm trying to say about The Room. Okay. See, you're different. I'm different. We know that about us. Okay.
Yeah.
But how I am seeing everybody else who is telling me how much they're in love with The Room, to me, they look like Joe. That's what they look like.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, I really like bad movies, therefore I have to like this bad movie because it's a bad movie and it's a bad movie that everybody likes. Like fucking Troll 2.
Yeah.
Fuck Troll 2. I can't stand Troll 2. You know? And I have a hard time believing that people are really liking it.
Okay.
Because they like it. You know, is that making a little more sense? You
No,
know?
that makes sense. That makes sense. I'm just worried that you're trying to piss on hospitality. And you can't piss on hospitality. I won't allow it! Even right now, I'm tightening my belt by one loop so I don't get hunger pains.
That's what it looks like to me.
Yeah. I can understand that. I can understand that because that sounds like another version of like when that last big American Godzilla movie came out.
Mm-hmm.
Like everybody was complaining, "Oh, I hated that movie because there was so much drama with all of these humans and you barely got to see Godzilla." And I'm like, "Yeah, welcome to my world. That's every fucking Godzilla movie."
Yeah.
Where have you been for like the last 30 fucking years? That's literally every Godzilla movie. And then my brother went to go see the Godzilla movie and he texts me like, "Hey, wait a second. You know Godzilla movies, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I know Godzilla movies. Is he ever a good guy? I went to go watch this new movie, and I thought he was going to be a bad guy." And I'm like, "No, most of the time he's a good guy defending the Earth from these other monsters." "Oh, I didn't know that." I'm like, "Yeah, of course you don't. Because you're watching this Godzilla movie, and you have no fucking clue of the goddamn history."
Yeah.
I know Godzilla movies. I have the right to say, to like or dislike this film. You don't get to just waltz into my fandom and start saying shit.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, that's like a different version of the exact thing you're saying.
Yes, it is. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure. I just felt like I wasn't getting to how I really felt about this movie well enough.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, there's an article out there that I saw but I didn't read, and it was a review of the movie The Disaster Artist from a person who went to go see The Rough Cut at Sundance, and the article was entitled something like "What It's Like to Watch a Movie About Tommy Wiseau Next to Tommy Wiseau." And the crazy thing is that all of this is going to go to that asshole's head.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine? This is a possibility. This might seem impossible, but so did Donald Trump for president.
Yes.
Can you imagine seeing Tommy Wiseau at the fucking Oscars in 2018? The Razzies would implode. If a movie about the worst film of all time wins Best Picture.
Mm-hmm.
The Razzies will basically like what's that thing where Japanese people kill themselves?
Harikari or Simbuku.
Yes, that. Yeah. The Razzies would just kill themselves.
I would have to watch that Oscar if it becomes a contender. I'm actually going to have to literally break down and watch the Oscars for the first time in Christ knows how many years.
Yeah. I can already picture him walking down the red carpet acting like the sun shines out of his ass.
Mm-hmm.
I can already see every fucking second of that.
His acceptance speech would be worth the price of admission.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody told me that this was going to be a bad movie, but I knew different.
Yeah. Fucking Tommy Wiseau. Yeah. It's weird that the story of this film is still being written. This film came out in 2003.
Yeah.
And the story is still being made. Really bizarre. Anyway, we still have to break down the plot of this film. And I feel like I haven't done a good plot breakdown in a while, so I really went all out with it.
Okay.
And the plot breakdown, just to let you know, has to do with Scientology.
Good.
No, I said Scientology. I meant a different cult. Supernatural.
Supernatural, okay.
That's what I meant to say. And it also has to do with Mark Ruffalo. And, of course, Kurt Cobain. So we have a lot to talk about still. But before we do, maybe we should take a break. Should we take a break?
We should take a break. This is our third, isn't it?
Yeah, this is our third break.
Okay. I'll just need to keep that in mind. We should take a break.
All right. We will be right back. And this is I knew this would be a big episode.
Okay.
I was prepared. So I tried not to. I could have written more.
Yeah.
So much more. I limited myself to this amount of notes. I was going to go like all out, but I took a deep breath. And, I took a deep breath and held it in. And that is how you're doing the French mistake.
Yes.
So we will be right back with more of the Pope on Film after these commercial messages. You're listening to NPR. Do 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 do. We're still recording. I just got to the plot.
Well, you have 11 or 10 pages.
Yeah, big episode.
That's okay. I was talking about Hannibal to one of my peeps that I'm going to be seeing in November.
Yeah, I'll be back.
Okay, I'll be back too.
Now that's a musketeer.
Satanic.
Panic.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are about to witness some scenes from the next attraction to play this theater. This picture, truly one of the most unusual ever filmed, contains scenes which under no circumstances should be viewed by anyone with a heart condition or anyone who is easily upset. We urgently recommend that if you are such a person or the parent of a young or impressionable child now in attendance, that you and the child leave the auditorium for the next 90 seconds.
And we're back with more of Film.
Did Emerald give you cherries?
So let's discuss the plot of The Room. I was going to say just now, let's discuss the plot of, or lack thereof, of The Room. But it's not, the problem is not that there isn't enough plot. The problem is that there is too much plot and it goes nowhere.
Yes.
That is the problem. There's too much plot.
Mhm.
There's plot for the sake of plot. There are subplots that appear and then are never mentioned again.
Yes, exactly. Like breast cancer.
Yeah, like breast cancer. Why does Denny owe money to Entourage extras?
Yes. Uh-huh.
Johnny's job. Oh, I have a new client. Oh no, I can't tell you who he is. It's top secret. I can't tell you.
What
Like that never appears again.
what Jeannie and I kept saying to ourselves throughout this movie was, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Don't
Yes.
worry about it. Everything was fucking don't worry about it. Like I don't know how many times they said don't worry about it in this
Don't worry
movie.
about it. Don't worry about it. Yeah.
And not just him. Everybody fucking said it.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's break down the plot.
Okay.
So basically, there's Johnny the alien. He is perfect. There is nothing wrong with him. He is Jesus.
Yes. That's
There's
pretty much
his-
what I got out of it too.
There is his fiancee, Lisa, the apparently attractive female.
Apparently, yes.
Apparently attractive. I don't see it, but to each his own. And then there's Johnny's best friend, Mark. He has facial hair. Apparently that's important.
Facial they did follow up on the facial hair angle.
Yeah. I just love the fact that
I might have made a different decision. Okay.
Yeah.
I might have gone with, a few of the other plots that were going on, like why did that actor just change?
Yeah.
But hey, he's the director, he knows what he's doing. He decided that the facial hair was the focus there. So
Yeah, I love when he shaves his facial hair and the music swells and there's a close up of his chin like, "Oh my god, that's the big reveal." Yeah. That's such a great scene. And then they're like, "Oh my god, you shaved your face. Let's go play football in the alley in our tuxes."
which, if you think about it, means that shaving his face worked. I mean, he shaved his face
Mhm.
and immediately got a date.
Yeah, that's a good point. That is a very good point. So there's Johnny and apparently attractive and oh hi Mark.
Yes.
There's also a crap ton of secondary characters with their own subplots that are not at all resolved. It's definitely breast cancer. So after overly dramatic and badly fonted opening credits, we see Johnny arriving at home to Lisa, and they're going to do it, but they're visited by Denny, who may or may not be the star of The Day My Son Went Punk.
Yes.
Like literally, it's like the same actor from The Day My Son Went Punk, but before he did The Day My Son Went Punk, and he went forward in time to be in this movie.
Well, he is one of those in Hollywood there's a lab. Okay?
Yes.
And in the lab you have various tanks where you have specific types of people that have been cloned and are ready to be just taken out of the tanks and put in a movie at the drop of a hat, and that is who Denny was. He was the kid who turned punk, just the latest clone of him.
Yeah. That's a good point. So yeah,
Every
no,
generation has one,
Yeah.
and I've been noticing these people a lot more.
Yeah. So, discussion question.
Mm-hmm.
Is Denny retarded?
I think his character is not, but the actor is.
That's really good. I thought you were going to say it the completely opposite way, but yeah. So maybe not sure. But then, like, if he is retarded, why does he owe money to drug dealers? It's so confusing.
Mm-hmm.
It's unknown. Best not to think too hard about it. That's basically the takeaway from The Room,
Yes.
from the Citizen Kane of bad movies.
And if you are such a father figure to this child, why aren't you, maybe just a bit more concerned that he owes money to drug dealers?
Yeah. You should care more about that. But anyway, it's just
Don't
The Room.
worry about it.
Yeah.
I got to work on my Tommy Wiseau. I'm not nearly as good as you.
You need to. Eventually, Denny leaves, and Johnny and apparently Attractive have a sex scene that is uncomfortably long.
Yes. And Tommy Wiseau has got to have the strangest looking ass
That is a weird looking ass.
I have ever seen. I wound up looking at Tommy Wiseau's ass much longer than I was actually comfortable with. Just because I was trying to figure it out.
Yeah, that's a weird looking ass, right?
I have seen fish that are not that white.
It's so weird because, like, I've seen a lot of porn,
Yeah.
and when you see a lot of porn, like Bill Hicks says, you see a lot of hairy bobbing man ass.
Yes, you do.
But it's like, wow, that's an ass I haven't seen before. Let me get out my Pokédex.
Did he think? I have a theory that I'm just kind of working on now. It did drift through my head a little bit, but because again, he was so white. So
Yes, he's a white
really,
ass.
really white. Was he possibly trying to say that he is like a Greek god, like a sculpture?
Maybe. You know what I thought he looked like? If early on the success went to his head,
Yeah.
and Hardy started hitting the meth hard.
Yes.
Yeah.
Meth or heroin.
Matt Hardy, like in 1997 and 98, the success of WWF was too much for him, and he just started hitting the pipe hard.
Possibly,
so
yeah.
He did so much things that Matt Hardy, am I saying it weird? Became Meth Hardy.
Meth Hardy.
Thank you, Emerald, for the assist there. So, I couldn't hear you. I don't have the best hearing, Emerald. So, uncomfortably long sex scene. It shows Tommy Wiseau's ass way too fucking much, and literally we're like 5 minutes into the scene. Maybe do some characterization before you jump immediately into the sex scene.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus Christ, show some fucking restraint for a second. Like, there are so many sex scenes that go on for so long that it almost seems as if, is this sex scene the reason why the movie was made? You know? Like, this is starting to get a bit suspicious. Also, you're going to have to trust me on this, Bunny. All of these sex scenes have the worst generic R&B music this side of a Scottsdale, Arizona pottery store. Just trust me on that one. The amount of bad R&B and smooth jazz that you would hear at a Scottsdale, Arizona pottery barn is basically the soundtrack to
Of Tommy Wiseau's life.
Tommy Wiseau's bobbing man ass. But what this movie needs is a catchy song. The one thing that Birdemic does better than The Room is that they're both horrible movies, but at least Birdemic has hanging out with my family, having ourselves a party. We're hanging out with my family. Like my whole family, Emerald started singing that
Nice.
with me. That's how great that fucking song is. At least Birdemic has a hit single, for shit's sake. No one can remember this music. If I was at work tomorrow and they start playing at work a song from The Room, I would have no fucking idea. At all. I wouldn't know. At all. Whatsoever. So,
You know who really should have done the soundtrack for this?
Paul Williams.
I'm going Yoko.
Oh, yeah, no, that would have fit. I was thinking Paul Williams.
That would be amusing.
Mm-hmm.
I could see a case for Paul Williams.
I just want to come out and say this.
Yeah.
This might be an unpopular opinion, at least in the bad movie world that we sometimes live in. I fucking hate The Phantom of the Paradise.
I love The Phantom of the Paradise.
Fucking hate that movie. I hate it so much. Yes. The only thing that I like about it is Paul Williams' music. Specifically, there's a song at the end credits, Goodbye, You're Better Off Dead. Goodbye.
Yeah.
That is on heavy rotation on my phone and has been for like the past 10 years. But I hate everything else about this movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I just think that someone in the 70s did way too much cocaine and said, you know what would be a great idea? Let's just get the original Phantom of the Opera and let's disco it. It's a great idea. Let's do it now. Maybe we can get Paul Williams to do the music. How can we get a hold of Paul Williams? Oh shit, I've been doing cocaine on him. Paul Williams, put on your clothes. You need to write music for this. That's like, let's do a campy disco Phantom of the Opera.
Yeah.
And that's the movie. And it's just, it's flashy and bizarre in a way that I like, but it's just,
It gets a little draggy at the end, I feel, and it could have done with a better ending, I thought.
Yes.
Other than that, I like it. I like it a lot. It's hard not to compare it to the Rocky Horror Picture Show, but it's not the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yeah, because it used to play in like double features with the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, it's not the fucking Rocky Horror Picture Show.
But that was Brian De Palma, and I really would have liked to have seen. I don't know what happened to Brian De Palma and how he must have fucked up somehow to not be allowed to make movies anymore, or whatever the hell happens to people like that.
Yeah.
You know, but I definitely wanted to see more like that out of him.
You didn't fall. You just rolled down the pillow.
I just watched Eleanor try and lay down on the dog's bed, and apparently she had never done that before. So she rolled off of it and fell onto the floor, and now she's crying. And I shouldn't be laughing, but it's really funny to see your child roll off of a dog bed. It's like, what did you fall, a centimeter? And now you're crying? Like, it's on the floor. It's like the tiniest, cheapest bed we could find the stupid dog. Oh, Jesus Christ. So, Johnny and apparently attractive seem happy. Apparently attractive smiles. I love you, honey. I am 100% happy with you. You can 100% trust me. I'm your fiance.
Mhm.
They're happy, as evident by the 6-minute sex scene that opens the fucking movie. But she's not happy. Apparently, Attractive's mom shows up immediately afterwards. She could probably smell the sex in the air. Really uncomfortable. And apparently, Attractive, AA, apparently doesn't love Johnny
Right.
anymore at all. Then why were they all happy, lovey-dovey, literally 5 seconds before this scene?
Mhm.
But in the room, all women are bitches.
Yes.
All women are bitches and cannot be trusted. This is a film that would not pass the however it's pronounced, the Bledschel test.
The Bledschel test.
Is that how you pronounce it? I think I got it.
I'm not familiar with it.
It's a test, a sexist test that they do to movies to see if there are female characters that are clearly defined and have characterization and have backstories, and are these women allowed to talk in the movie in ways where they aren't talking about men.
Okay.
A
No.
lot of movies do not fucking pass this. One of the things that I really liked about the Lego movie is that people did interviews in the press, and they went to Phil Miller and Chris Lord and said, "So what do you think about your movie?" And they said, "It's good. It wouldn't pass the Bledschel test, but it's good."
Yeah.
And now they vowed in the next Lego movie to have female characters that can actually hold their own and not have to constantly be talking about men.
Yeah.
Glow. That passes the Bledschel test.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. So this movie basically
What are you thinking of that? I've watched a few episodes now.
I have not watched it yet.
Okay.
Seriously, have you seen the documentary on Netflix?
I've seen it before. I haven't watched it lately.
Okay. It's a fucking great documentary, and it's I already know this story.
Yeah.
And I want to watch it, if for no other reason, a woman in Community is naked in it.
For me, I am finding it's having a hard time finding itself. Like what it really wants to be as a show, you know?
Yeah. I just have a hard time sitting down and watching Glow when I read a book about Glow. We had a book about Glow at work, and I read it, and I loved it. I watched the documentary about Glow. It was a damn good documentary. My wife and I saw it a couple of times. I am a big fan of Queen Kong from Glow.
Yeah.
Because she did a lot of roller derby in the 70s and 80s, which they riffed on Cheap Seats. Not to mention the fact that she was a huge wrestler in Glow, which I would watch. So now that they've done a Glow show, I feel like, okay, I don't need to watch this.
Yeah.
I have already lived the entire Glow life. I don't need to watch this show. And then it's just that thing where I go to work and people are like, "Oh my God, Steve, have you watched Glow?" Like, no, I haven't yet. Okay. I don't know. It's just it's so popular in my world right now that I'm in no rush.
Well, then my advice would be to just wait. I don't know if I'm going back to it, you know?
I haven't even seen whatever it's called, Stranger Things, yet.
Yeah.
So I still have a ways to go before I get to fucking Glow. You know?
Yeah.
So, I love the mom character in this.
Yeah.
She's in 3 or 4 scenes, and I love her so much. Because she's like, "You should be with Johnny. I don't want to be with Johnny. I don't love him." Well, what does that have to do with marriage?
Yes.
I'm like, oh my God, you go, girl. I love this fucking mom. That's one of the most realistic looks at marriage I've ever seen in a film.
But see,
Good for you.
But see, all the characters in this movie can be summed up with one specific line, and that would be hers.
Yeah.
You know,
No
what
one.
what difference does it make? He's a good provider. He will take
Yeah.
care of you.
Yeah.
And then that's it. Her characterization is over.
Yeah.
Nothing else has to be done with her. She's fine. Oh,
Yeah.
she's got breast cancer, but that's nothing.
Yeah. And also, let's not forget the most important part about her. She reeks of community theater. Like, literally, she gets her, like, stupid line. She gets her line, and it's like, love? What does love have to do with marriage? You need to grow up. And she just takes that line and goes, love? What does love have to do with marriage? You need to grow up, girl. I'm like, okay, you are definitely a scenery chewer at your local community theater troupe.
And Lions Club.
Yeah. Like, oh, wow, you don't love Johnny? Well, tough shit, daughter. Welcome to marriage. Like, damn, I love her. So then, like, already we have established that apparently attractive is a liar. Because
Now she was a Denny's waitress. Totally.
Denny's waitress, yeah. It's like, okay, Johnny, bye, have fun at work. I love you and will always love you. Then 5 seconds later, Mom, I hate Johnny. He is the worst. And I am not happy with him. And then the mom says, okay, well, I got to leave. Okay, Mom, I love you so much. And then the mom leaves, and then she calls Mark, oh, hi, Mark. And it's like, oh, I hate my mom. She was just here. I was talking to her. She was so stupid. Anyway, we should do it. She is a horrible person.
Yes.
So apparently attractive seduces Johnny's best friend, Mark, and they do it. And it's like 20 minutes in. And basically, she's a female Dr. Doom.
Yes.
She's a mustache-twirling villain. Later in the film, she actually ties Johnny to the train tracks. So then we get another way too long sex scene. Yay! And spoons! There are framed pictures of spoons in the house. Why are there spoons? Why are there framed pictures of spoons? I'm so confused. That is an alien move there. That is why I am pretty sure I'm right. This film was made by aliens.
I think that's a good chunk of evidence for your case.
Yeah, fucking spoons. Oh, and
Why would there be so many spoons? Go ahead.
I love right before Mark and apparently attractive do it. They have a conversation, and I just love how dead both of them are. Not just dead in their delivery, but also you can tell they're also dead inside because they don't want to be in the film.
Yes.
So they're there going, I can't do this to Johnny. And then Lisa goes, I know. He's your best friend. It's like, wow, what dramatic tension there. Jesus, I'm getting hot in my pants. You guys are so amazing in your roles. Then Johnny goes to buy flowers for Lisa at the only flower shop in San Francisco that's badly dubbed.
Yes. Yes. But that's how awesome he is. You know, he brings her the red dress. He gets her flowers. You know,
Yeah.
he is just such an absolute positive saint to her.
Yeah.
You know,
Perfect.
and she betrays him for just no reason whatsoever.
Absolutely no reason.
No. That's
And
why
then-
I think this is really a chunk of Tommy Wiseau's life somewhere. Because only
Yeah.
a narcissistic fuck would have this view and make a movie out of it?
Yeah. Yeah. And then the flower shop owner, in the most lifeless way possible, as he's leaving, "You're my favorite customer." Does she say that to all of her customers? I have the suspicion
Yeah.
that this flower shop owner has come up with the greatest idea in the world. Like, I'm going to be at work tomorrow and going, "Okay, here's your book. Thank you for shopping. You're my favorite customer."
And I doubt it's true because I'm pretty sure Tommy Wiseau smells of cabbage.
Yeah. And again, you probably shouldn't have your dog up on the counter.
Yes.
That can't be good. So, Johnny comes home. Johnny didn't get his promotion. "They betrayed me. They are using me, and I am the fool." Yes, that is exactly how people talk when they don't get a promotion. You have perfectly encapsulated human life. So Johnny doesn't drink. And I'm thinking the reason why he probably doesn't drink is because his eyes are fully closed 80% of the time.
Yeah.
He spends most of his day with his eyes closed, so he doesn't drink alcohol because he can't actually see the drink. But in the
And it also makes him look like a better person. Oh,
Yeah.
look, he's got a good job. He buys her nice things, and he doesn't drink.
Yeah. Well, let's just go with it. Yeah. But in the Roomverse, all women are bitches.
Mm-hmm.
So Lisa forces Johnny to drink and literally says the line, "If you love me, you will drink this."
Yes. Which was like a gallon of whiskey
Yeah.
with vodka.
So then, of course, he drinks, and it's the stereotypical, "We're in a movie. I'm wearing your tie as a bandana. I'm tired. I'm wasted. I love you, darling." So they're getting wasted, and this whole time I'm still looking at Lisa, trying to figure out what her look could be.
Yeah.
Because she's apparently attractive, and I think I nailed it.
Okay.
Apparently attractive looks like she comes from an alternate universe where the woman who played Blossom, Maya Bialik,
Yeah.
who's now on The Big Bang Theory, instead of being a mathematician / scientist / actor, she decided to be a very bad part-time model. Dyed her hair blonde, cut it short, started wearing skimpy dresses, didn't bother to get a nose job.
Yeah.
That's what Lisa looks like. Alternate universe Blossom.
She looks like, to me, maybe 4 drinks. You know?
Okay. Yeah.
Maybe 4 drinks. And then you notice her down at the end of the bar. She's been there the whole time.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking
Like
4.
a last second like a last second SNL skit.
Yeah.
Like a right before the sad jazz music SNL skit. Anyway, they're both
The girl
drunk.
the girl you start hitting on that you kind of feel like you're doing a favor to.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. The girl you only notice when they say, "You don't have to go home, but you can stay here."
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're both drunk. They have another way too long sex scene. And then afterwards, apparently attractive, is visited by the mom again. No wonder Lisa's such a bitch. Her mom is a horrible person. really horrible. I definitely have breast cancer, and it's never mentioned again.
No.
Ever.
Nope.
Oh, don't worry about it. You'll get better. Anyway, let's talk about my thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Really. Then Lisa tells her mom that Johnny got drunk and hit her. Which
He did
the
not
mom,
hit her.
Which the mom blows off.
Yeah.
The mom's like, "Oh, okay. So you took a shot in the mouth. He has a nice job." Like, damn, no wonder you turned out to be a fucking horrible person, both inside and out. Like, your mom is the worst. The literal worst. Johnny is your financial security. Like, damn. Then, for no reason whatsoever, two strangers that we don't know break into Johnny's house to have sex.
Yeah.
But why? Who are these people? It's confusing.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, they're discovered. Big laughs. Then
Could he have made a porn on the side with
maybe
them?
that's a good possibility. Then this is when Denny is on the CGI roof, and he is visited by entourage extra Chris R. Now that is a horrible name for a gangster, and is a good example of your theory that all of this happened in real life.
Mm-hmm.
If all of this happened in real life, then Tommy Wiseau got someone's actual name and changed it to Chris R. That is the only reason, really, why a gangster in this movie would be named Chris R.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
That's weird. That you have this gang member named Chris R. What the hell? So Danny is visited by entourage extra Chris R. on a green screened roof. Why does Danny owe drug dealers money, and why is this never mentioned again? What I really love is the fact that at this point in the movie, Lisa says, "Okay, shit, I guess I'll try. I guess I'll just try to act. I don't know. How do you act? I don't even know. I guess I'll just yell. What kind of drugs do you take? What is wrong with you?"
Well. Okay. But also, what she was screaming, which had me like, "What the fuck?" I'm not. Maybe it was the mother. I'm not sure. What kind of money? What the fuck do you mean? What kind of money? Money. What? Doubloons.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
And they kept
Drachmas.
saying it over and over. What kind of money? What kind of money? What are you babbling about? What kind of money
Nothing.
is not even a
Bartering.
real thing?
I was bartering. I owe him 10 pelts. So after this overly dramatic scene that again is never mentioned throughout the rest of the film,
Yeah.
Johnny and Mark have a scene on the CGI roof with a football. I did not hit her. It is bullshit. I did not. Oh, hi, Danny. Oh, hi, Mark. My girl Lisa would never cheat on me, and I'm so happy to have you as my best friend, Mark. This is what I call foreshadowing.
Yeah.
Then-
Should have flashed up on the bottom of the screen going, plot point, plot point,
Yeah.
plot point.
So
Plot
then
point.
Danny shows up again. This part I love. Danny shows up again, all smiles, and Johnny goes, "Oh, hi, Danny. Do you still owe money to those people?" And Danny goes, "Oh, hell no. I'm on a new plot now. I'm on a brand new plot. I'm in love with Lisa." Oh, so we are just going to totally forget that you just had a gun pointed to your head? Yup, I'm in love with Lisa. So then Denny and Johnny have a heart-to-heart. And meanwhile...
You know she's a whore, don't you?
Yeah. Meanwhile, apparently Attractive is still telling people that Johnny hit her because all women lie, apparently, according to this film.
This film and Bill Cosby, yes.
Yeah, I was just going to say all women lie, but I added apparently, according to this film, because now Amber is in the room, and I don't think she knows what we're talking about.
Oh.
I just wanted to be clear. Out of respect to you, Amber.
Everyone lies.
Okay, yeah, all women are bitches.
That's true.
So then Johnny and apparently Attractive have an argue fight specifically designed so that Tommy Wiseau can try to act. You're tearing me apart, Lisa! Wow, so we're just straight up stealing lines from other movies now, huh?
And how horribly, I mean, you can watch the original film and like figure out how to say that line. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, it was out of nowhere. It was misplaced. It was not in any kind of context. It was just something he suddenly he might as well have said splunge. He really might have, you know?
Splunge. Oh my god. No, the amazing part is not that he stole a line from Rebel Without a Cause, but all of the other lines that he stole. Because the way the scene goes is he says, you are tearing me apart, Lisa. You had me at hello, Lisa. Lisa, you are driving me crazy. I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore. Oh, hi, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You are my only hope. That was going too far.
Yes.
You know? Now that was too far. So, and then, like, shortly afterwards, in one of the most oddest scenes, the boys then throw the football around.
In tuxedos.
Yeah. No, this is before the tuxedo scene. The first time they throw the football around. You have to look closely at that scene. That's when Tommy Wiseau starts shopping. He starts buying all of his clothes from the Matt Hardy collection. Because he's got like these cargo pants that are bedazzled and like a black wife beater. It's like, okay, you are 100% shopping at the Matt Hardy collection circa 1998, dude. Like, dude, you literally ripped that off of Matt Hardy after a ladder match with Edge and Christian and the Dudleys. For shit's sake. You look fucking ridiculous. You're like 40. Stop dressing like you just came from a rave. So, Johnny overhears like Lisa having a gab sesh.
Yeah.
Oh no, she is lying to me about something. I know what I'll do. I'll record everything. Nixon style.
Oh god, yes, the fucking recorder.
And that's when we get the super tense 5-minute setting up a recorder scene.
Yes.
Blew me away.
And the horrible payoff? Can we call that a payoff after?
I don't know. So yada yada yada. Johnny ends up talking with a friend, psychologist Peter, who I'm pretty sure is also David Wayne's character from Stella, the short-lived Comedy Central show from 3 of the overly Jewish members of the state.
Okay.
At Hot American Summer. I'm pretty sure that the character of Peter is just from Stella, but hey, I might be wrong there. Peter seems to be very easy. The thing that I love about Peter is that when you first see the character of Peter, you go, wow, look at this Peter guy. He seems pretty smart. He seems pretty level-headed. He seems like an easy guy to want to throw off a roof. First thing that comes into your head when you see Peter, I want to throw this man off of a roof.
For
He's
for,
very
for no more
roof-trouble.
reason than that.
Yeah. And you know what? Sometimes you just meet a man that you just want to kill. It's not your fault
Right.
for having homicidal tendencies. It's his fault for being so easily killable.
Right. It's just like how some women you can't take seriously unless they have mustard on their face.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. If Bella was actually listening to this, I think she would have been very, very impressed with your reference.
It's fucking weird, man. Because like, I really still have not like watched every episode of Community. Okay.
Yeah.
But that fucking episode, that Meow Meow Beans episode,
It's so good.
I think that's like
It's so
one of the
good.
best half hours television has ever produced. I fucking love that thing. I have
Yeah, that's how I
watched
feel
it
about the
so
Law
many.
and Order episode.
Yeah, I have watched it so many times. It's like the only because I watch things like that on my Roku, so I put them on a thumb drive. It's the only episode of Community on the thumb drive.
Yeah.
Everything else has been cleared off to make room for other shit.
So,
But that one, if
Yeah.
if I'm watching something on the Roku, let me back up. I got two different Rokus. One is just for watching shit off a thumb drive. Okay. If I'm doing that, I'm going to watch that episode.
Yeah.
It's either going to be a warm up or a cool down.
Yeah.
But anyway, sorry, that was a complete
Yeah.
sidetrack.
I'm going to throw something at Bella's head. Oh, I got her.
I hate you.
Hey, Bella has...
Literally freaking watching a horror game.
I'm sorry I threw something at you while you were watching someone play a horror game. Bella has gotten into the habit of watching TV with headphones connected to the television so that
Yeah.
only she can listen to what's going on, and it's really weird, especially when we're all awake and one person is the only person allowed to listen to the TV. It's really weird. But I had to get her attention because we were just talking about Meow Meow Beans. Ah, she's got a look on her face like we were talking about a woman in the movie. We were talking about a woman in the movie, and Bunny said that it's hard to take her seriously without mustard on her face. Yeah, you laughed at that because that's a good reference. That's a really good reference. I thought you'd appreciate that. That's why I tried to get your attention by throwing something at you.
Next time, throw it later.
No, I refuse. I refuse to hold back.
Call my name really, really loudly. So, like, I don't get scared. That would be me getting...
Okay, so you don't want me to scare you, so you think I should yell your name really loudly. Good, that won't scare you. Watch the horror video game and then suddenly... That's in no way scary. Okay.
No.
You know what? Next time I'll just slowly sneak up to you and then shake you. That's probably the best way to get your attention. Yeah, you know what? Just for that, I'm giving you 2 Meow Meow Beans.
Oh.
You're lucky I'm not giving you one. Then you would be in the wasteland.
I give you
Mhm.
half of one.
Ones don't have a rhyme because they're garbage.
Yeah.
I'm going.
You cannot give me half a Meow Meow Bean because it's my birthday. Then why am I wearing this birthday hat? You don't get it, Bella. You're just a chicken. Chip, 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 chip.
Yes,
Oh,
what
God,
the-
I love this
What
movie.
the fuck was that? What kind of chickens do they have on his planet?
Tommy Wiseau must have spent a lot of time in the Arrested Development universe because they have equally strange ways to describe how chickens sound. So,
That just stupidly reminds me of a meme that I had seen of Donald Trump sitting behind his desk on the phone, supposedly talking to Don Jr., and it just says, "There's always money in the banana stand."
I haven't seen that. That's good. So, Mark shows up, and there's a tense talk, and oh, Mark, you're just a little chicken. Cheep, 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 cheep. Then later, Peter and Mark are on the CGI roof, and Peter notices the eyes that Peter is giving to Lisa because Peter seems to be a regular, normal person instead of all of these weird, nonsensical assholes that populate this universe. So Peter's just easily like, I've been in this film for about 5 minutes and I can already tell Mark that you're fucking Lisa.
Yeah.
And then Mark's like, fuck you, I'm gonna throw you off the roof. But again, that's not Mark's fault because Peter is so roof throwable.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You know? Then later, in the most shocking scene of all, Mark shaves. Da da da! Dramatic music.
It was kind of thrilling.
Yeah, they literally play dramatic music.
It was thrilling in that, why am I wasting my life kind of way?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like that. It was just like, what? Yeah.
Yeah. So then after that, the boys.
I could have been a doctor.
Yeah. So then after that, the boys play football in tuxedos in an alleyway. A scene that literally adds nothing. There's like no dialogue, and there is no point to the scene at all. Welcome to the room.
Yes. And it just made me think like, okay, she is going to win the Procrastinators Award. I mean, you are in tuxedos, you're going to be rehearsing your wedding. You might want to break up with this guy anytime soon,
Yeah. Still, she's
just
like...
your business, I don't want to tell you what to do, but it might be kind of a good idea. Just saying.
I'm going to break up with him seconds before saying I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's literally waiting to the last second. So, Johnny's at work. So apparently attractive, and Mark, do it some more. Who has lace curtains around their bed? Who has white, wafting, lacy white curtains around their bed? Is Johnny a 5-year-old girl? What the fuck? That's some weird-ass shit. Like, no one outside of a 2 a.m. Cinemax movie has a bed that fucking looks like this. At all. That's fucking weird. I am glad I spent some time getting angry about this bed, because every time I see it, it pisses me the fuck off. No one has that bed. Except for, like, Emerald when she's 4. I want to be a princess. Can I have a princess bed? It's like, okay, but your name is Johnny and you're 42 years old. It's a weird conversation. Also, I got the test results back. It's definitely breast cancer. Speaking of, I want to talk for a second about an ad that I am in love with.
Okay.
And it's weird for me to be in love with an ad, but I am in love with an ad. What's even weirder about it is that it's an ad about Game of Thrones.
Okay.
But it's an ad from Hulu. Apparently Hulu just got the entire HBO catalog.
Nice.
So Hulu now carries all of HBO's original programming. So they decided to do a commercial that focuses on Game of Thrones. But instead, of doing a typical Game of Thrones commercial, their commercial for Game of Thrones never shows Game of Thrones. So
Interesting choice. Okay.
So the entire commercial is just scenes from other shows on Hulu mentioning Game of Thrones on their shows. Like right in the beginning, there's a line from an episode of Community where Troy goes, "If I want to know about what happened a long time ago in England, I would watch Game of Thrones."
I like it.
Yeah, and then there's like an SNL skit where like Bobby Moynihan is doing a motion capture for the dragon, and he's in this like harness and flying all over the place, and he's talking like, "Some of the special effects in here are just amazing." And then it cuts to Key and Peele talking about Game of Thrones. What about Khaleesi's and them dragons? And it's so great because it's a commercial about Game of Thrones that never shows Game of Thrones. And then it shows some characters from, I think, The New Girl, and they're going, "Winter is coming." And then it ends with a scene from Parks and Rec, where Amy Poehler gives Ben Wyatt's character a replica of the Iron Throne, and he's all freaking out. Oh my god, it's the Iron Throne. And then in the middle, it has three lame characters from Brooklyn Nine-Nine talking about how much they love exchanging Game of Thrones theories, and one of the stupid guys goes, "I'm pretty sure the little guy is going to marry a dragon." It's like so great because like with no other show on television could you do a commercial about that show that never shows the show.
And that's what I love. Yeah. That's what I think I'm really loving about it is that they made that realization. You know, I mean, at this point, you who the fuck does not know that there is a show, Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
And a rough idea of what it's about.
Yeah.
I do. I haven't seen a single fucking episode. You know? So why advertise it when you can advertise, when you can use it to advertise everything else? I think there's a bit of genius in that move.
Yeah, I just sent the commercial to you just to let you know. Because it's so great. I've watched it like 20 times. I just think it's so freaking wonderful.
Cool, because I am very curious now.
Yeah. So, the bed. Wafting lacy curtains around the bed, like fucking ridiculous. So, there's a surprise party that's going to happen for Johnny. Apparently attractive, is once again visited by your mom. They're both horrible. In fact, Lisa is such a horrible person that I am now a Supernatural fan.
Okay. How'd that happen?
Let me tell you how it happened. This movie has turned me into a fan of the show Supernatural. I will explain to you why. Lisa is a horrible person in this film. She lies to everyone. She is never truthful. Everything bad that happens because of her. She is a horrible person. She has no redeeming qualities. I hate Lisa as a character so much that, like Supernatural fandom, I don't just hate Lisa. I hate the actress that plays her.
Nice, okay.
Supernatural style.
She deserves it.
I am going to find the actress that plays Lisa and punch her in the fucking ovaries. Supernatural style. Supernatural fans are famous for hating a character and the actor that plays the character.
Uh-huh.
Even before Natasha became obsessed with Supernatural, I read an interview with, what's his name? Booger from Revenge of the Nerds.
Yeah.
He's been in a few episodes of Supernatural.
Really? I'm kind of glad to hear about that.
Yeah, the Onion AV Club has this thing called
Curtis
Random
Armstrong, I believe.
Yeah, there you go. Yes. The Onion AV Club has this thing called Random Roles where they will interview like a character actor, but they won't mention ahead of time what they will be asking them about. So you'll have some famous person is some famous actor, and they will say like, okay, so in 1972 you did this commercial for tampons. And the actor will go, oh my God, I didn't think you'd be asking about that. Yes, that was my first job, and I was 12 years old. So they're interviewing Curtis Armstrong, and they mention Supernatural, and he says, yes, I've been in a couple of Supernatural episodes. It was a big deal for me. They wrote the part specifically for me, and I was really proud to do it. In fact, I've actually been to a couple of Supernatural conventions, which I will never do again, and let me tell you why. The Supernatural fans are insane. They cannot differentiate between the show and real life. When they see a bad guy on the show, they see that actor and assume he's a bad guy. People hate me at Supernatural conventions. I try and tell them that I'm just an actor, but no, they see me as the person I played. And I'm like, I lodged that in my brain, and I'm like, okay, apparently Supernatural fans are weird. And now I will talk to Natasha about it, and she's like, oh yeah, no. There are people that hate this character so much that they hate the guy who plays the character. And I'm like, okay, yeah, Supernatural fans are as weird as I thought. And I didn't understand that. Like, okay, like you hate this like bad guy in a movie.
Yeah.
Okay, it's just an actor who's being paid to be that bad guy. I'd never understood how you could do that until I saw Lisa in the room. Holy shit, I want to beat up that actress.
Well, because at the time of Revenge of the Nerds, he was kind of all over the place.
Yes.
He got to be a fairly kind of a go-to guy. And I remember
Elaine, I've been in high school for 7 years. I'm no dummy.
And he had become a regular on Moonlighting.
Oh yeah.
And I used to love Moonlighting. And there was oh god, I forget who the secretary's name was who was on the show since the beginning.
Yeah. The mousy chick.
Yeah. And when Moonlighting started going downhill, and when it went downhill, it went downhill fucking quick.
Oh yeah.
I was like, you know what they should do? What I would have loved to have seen, because they flirted with it a little. Kick Bruce Willis and Sybil Shepherd off of this fucking show. Let them take it over the agency.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I would have watched that.
Oh, I totally would have watched these two complete loser detectives.
Yeah.
Because the other two weren't great detectives either.
Nope.
So, thank you for bringing... I'm glad he's still alive.
Yeah. Moonlighting
this show has been comforting.
Moonlighting was the first time I ever saw Whoopi Goldberg.
Yeah.
She played like a criminal in an episode where they kept playing the song Devil with a Blue Dress On. It was like a season finale. And I remember the episode because at the end of the episode, they broke the fourth wall and like the director showed up.
Yeah.
And they're like, I'm sorry, at the end of the season, we need to close it down. But we never finished the plot. Well, it's okay. You got away with it. You did this. And yeah, the episode ended with Bruce Willis and Sybil Shepherd going to their cars in the parking lot. Like, really fucking weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. I would easily, without a small, littlest bit of guilt, beat the shit out of the woman who plays Lisa in this film.
We may need to start a Kickstarter.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to slap her. I want to slap her Stephanie McMahon style.
Yeah.
I want to slap the shit out of her.
Okay.
That would make me feel better.
So anybody in our listening audience, let us know if we should start a Kickstarter, or hey, you could start a Kickstarter for us for the express purpose of Reverend Steve Galindo slapping this actress, whatever the fuck her name is, in the face, Stephanie McMahon style.
I'm uncomfortable with calling it Kickstarter. I want to call it Slapstarter.
Mm-hmm.
I think it
Slapstarter.
could be a thing. Yeah. Like raise money, the money can go for like charity. And for the express purpose of like slapping people. I think a lot of people would give money to a Slapstarter towards Justin Bieber.
Yes. Oh fuck yeah!
Like-
I would pony
like-
up for that.
Please give money to this Slapstarter. The Slapstarter will help us follow up on our dream of having Ric Flair slap Justin Bieber in the face.
Oh, even better. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I'd give $100 to that.
Well, this would be like a test run, a trial run, a pilot program, if you will.
Yeah.
You know, and if it takes off, if it does well, then we may set up others for other celebrities to be slapped. There are a lot of slappable celebrities.
I imagine there are a lot of Portuguese people that want to slap Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Pretty sure that-
want to slap Kirstie Alley.
Oh hell, I don't know. She was really good in Drop Dead Gorgeous.
Yeah.
Like there are certain actors that I hate, but then they do the one thing that it's like, God damn it, Kirstie Alley, you've got a pass from me. Use it wisely. Because goddamn, that's a good fucking movie.
So you want to slap her?
Yes. So it's finally the surprise party, and of course, the fit hits the sham.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the amazing part. Lisa's all like, "Hey guys, let's do this party outside," and everybody leaves except for Lisa and Mark, who sit on the couch and start making out. Well, but they're discovered. Discovered by who? A random ass fucking character that we have never seen or heard from before. Who I'm pretty sure doesn't even have a fucking name. And I'm pretty sure that he may or may not be an alternate universe Mark Ruffalo.
Yes.
Just to be clear. Alternate universe young Mark Ruffalo finds Lisa and Mark making out on the couch. And things are tense. So this is a perfect time to make an announcement. We're expecting. But there is no baby. Apparently attractive is just a crazy lying bitch. And that's when you get the dramatic, I can't believe this. I feel like I'm sitting on an atomic bomb waiting to go off. Me, a new unnamed character. This is going to destroy our group of friends. All of you people, and me, the unnamed character. I don't know if I, the unnamed character, can take this any longer, Lisa. You need to tell Johnny the truth. It's breaking me apart. Me, the new unnamed character. 15 minutes before the ending. I don't know if I can take this. So there's some drama that happens during the birthday cake. Horrible time for it to happen.
Mhm.
Shoving, yelling, etc. And it happens in a room.
Mm-hmm.
Is it the room? Maybe. I don't know. Anyway,
I would have to go with it. It is the room. Unless it's the bedroom. Please don't let it be the bedroom. I don't want that to be the room.
some fucking sex scenes in this.
Yeah. Because most of the movie took place on the fucking roof.
Yeah. Yeah. So then I got the riff tracks of the room.
Yes.
And I would watch it all the time, and I wanted my kids to watch it, but there's just way too many fucking sex scenes that are really uncomfortable, and I'm not going to do that to my kids. As much of a bad parent as I am, I'm not scarring in them with Tommy Wiseau's weird-looking ass.
Yes. No.
So
that would
then-
be abuse.
So then I found a fan edit of riff tracks where it's the riff tracks of The Room, but with all of the sex scenes removed. And I thought, oh my god, there's a fan edit of The Room riff tracks. How amazing. I'm going to download that. So I downloaded the fan edit of the riff tracks of The Room without the sex scenes, and I'm like, I'm going to show this to my kids. They're going to love Hating the Room. Wait. I'm going to watch it first. And
Yeah.
sure enough, they edit out the sex scenes. But there's still a bunch of naked butts in it.
Oh.
And I'm like, damn, now I can't show this to my kids. But that's okay anyway. That's how engrams are started.
Yeah, but how insulting is that? How insulting. What if you were in a movie and it had a lot of sex scenes and somebody cut all of your sex scenes out?
Well, there's
Wouldn't that just
too
be
many
really
fucking
insulting?
scenes.
What?
Well, that's when you realize, oh shit, maybe 9 sex scenes is too much. Okay, well maybe that first sex scene that goes on for 11 minutes is a bit too long. Maybe I make bad choices. So anyway, Johnny learns about Mark and apparently attractive. There's a fight. Johnny runs dramatically to the bathroom all depressed. Then the party is over. Johnny still won't leave the bathroom, so apparently attractive calls Mark over and says some nasty things about Johnny. Then Johnny comes out of the bathroom and plays the conversation he recorded. What?
Yeah, but now at this point, I thought it was pretty well established and clear in their conversation that he knew that they had an affair.
Yeah. He did say when they're having a fight during the birthday cake, which is a bad time to break up with your girlfriend during your birthday cake.
Yeah.
It's like that time that Debbie said to me right before we had birthday cake, oh yeah, the cat that you gave to my friend, yeah, she died 2 days ago. Sorry we didn't tell you before now.
Mm-hmm.
But blow out the candles. Happy birthday.
So
Basically,
I
that's
was really wondering, like, oh, now we're gonna get this payoff of this tape that you have hidden to prove that you taped what you already know because it came up in this fight before. What the fuck?
yeah, during the birthday cake. Well, maybe I know more than you think I know. No, I'm pretty sure you do not know a lot, Tommy Wiseau. Just to be clear. Just to be clear. I did not write that song and have never had sex with a child. So, apparently attractive hates Johnny, and a distraught Johnny goes into the bedroom, starts screaming like a drunken Klingon,
Yeah.
weakly destroys the house. Like, imagine a distraught Pee Wee Herman.
Yes.
So distraught over something, like maybe Cowboy Curtis has been secretly fucking,
Wendy Window.
no, I'm trying to think of like the prettiest girl in all of cartoon land. Missy Vaughn, that's her name. I
Okay.
remembered it. So they've been secretly fucking, and Pee Wee Herman has like the hots for Missy Vaughn. So he starts destroying the playhouse. The weakness of him destroying the playhouse is basically what Tommy Wiseau does to his house. And then there's my favorite part, which really does seem out of place. Tommy Wiseau literally has an orgasm on the floor with a red dress.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to destroy this. I'm going to throw this to the floor. I'm going to get this TV and throw it out the window. Quick orgasm. This is something for myself with this dress because I have some issues. Oh, get back to destroying things. Then, now here's the amazing part. Get ready for this, okay? Then, getting drug dealer Chris R.'s gun, he pulls a Cobain, killing himself. But here's the beautiful scene, the most amazing, beautiful scene that really does bring the entire film together. As he's killing himself in slow motion, there's a montage right before he dies. Magically, every plot line in the film gets resolved. You see this beautiful montage. Chris R., the gangster, gets hit by a train and dies. He gets his comeuppance, Chris R. It's his fault because he's hanging out with some bad guys and then says, I like trains. And then he's just hit by a train and dies.
Yeah.
Lisa's mom dies of breast cancer.
Mm-hmm.
Fully ending that plot line. Denny is cured of his retardation and is suddenly acting like a normal human being. Good for Denny. Michelle and Mike get their own place to fuck in, so they don't have to break into Johnny's house.
Yeah.
Which is good. It would be difficult to have sex in all that blood. You learn that Johnny's dad was secretly a professional tuxedo football player. Which does explain one or two scenes in the movie. And
it speaks a lot to motivation.
Yeah. And then finally, in the last scene of the film, Peter throws himself off a building.
Mm-hmm.
Which just goes to prove that he is very throw-off-a-buildingable. And then the most amazing part is that Lisa's like, but now we're free to be together. And Mark is like, get out of here, bitch. All of this happened because of you. I don't want to be with you. And then Lisa goes, fine, I don't even want to be with you. I'm going away. And Mark goes, where are you going? And Lisa says, nowhere in particular. And Mark goes, nowhere in particular. You know, that's a place I always wanted to go to. And then Lisa and Mark get on horses and ride off into a sunset for about a minute, and then they get off the horses and go into a limousine, and then that limousine drives off into the sunset.
Yes.
Fade to black, end of film. That is The Room.
Even in discussing it, it's an exhausting movie.
Yeah, this is one of our longest episodes, so that's fun. Now, I was trying to think of next week. Next week, Notes from the Bookstore comes back. We are doing a Scientology orientation video for homework, along with a Real Stories video about Scientology murders.
Yes.
We're going to be talking about white power and Instagram, as well as a very unpopular opinion about a certain Claude mutant who will remain nameless until next week for dramatic reasons.
Okay.
Now, next week, Bunny, I have something special-ish for the movie, depending on your definition of pleasure. I've been looking through Netflix, and I really like Netflix because Netflix is about quantity over quality.
Yes.
So there are a number of pretty bad movies on Netflix, and some of them are fairly new pretty bad movies on Netflix. I've got 4 bad movies on Netflix, and I want you to choose which movie we do next week.
Okay. Hit me.
Each of these 4 movies is equally bad in its own way. Okay?
All right.
Okay. Either of these would make a good episode. Either of these are horrible in their own way. Okay?
All right.
The 4 movies, you get to choose which movie we do for the next episode.
Okay.
Number one, Charlie St. Cloud.
I have not heard of this.
It stars Zac Efron. Hear me out.
Okay.
His best friend is his brother, who is dead.
Okay.
Then he falls in love with a woman, and then the woman goes missing, and he has to go and save the woman with the help of his brother, who is dead, and actually his imaginary friend. Not a ghost, but his imaginary friend, because he's having a hard time letting go.
Okay.
You okay?
What else?
Okay. Boat Trip.
Boat Trip.
Cuba Gooding Jr. and Horatio Sands, of all people,
Oh.
decide to go on a cruise, and they pretend to be employees in the cruise company, but they don't realize that the cruise they've signed up for is a gay cruise. It's basically a gay panic film. Because Cuba Gooding Jr. falls in love with a woman, but the woman, of course, assumes that Cuba Gooding Jr. is gay. Because he's
I would.
gay.
I always have.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's a movie that could have been done in 1999, and that could never be done now. So,
But it was done now, or was it done in
No,
'99?
No, it was done maybe about 16 years ago, something like that. Third film, third choice.
Okay.
Fucking Spawn.
Spawn. Okay, I've
Spawn,
seen that.
The live action Spawn.
I've looked
Yeah.
at it a couple of times. The side of my eye.
Yeah. Like, yeah, fucking Spawn. Like that. Okay, Spawn. And then finally, B movie.
B movie.
Jerry-
The
B
oh,
movie. Jerry Seinfeld's overly Jewish animated movie for kids.
We haven't done a movie like that in a while.
Yeah. Yeah. No, we haven't done an animated movie in a while.
And that is
And shitting on B movie is really popular right now.
well. Then we need to get in there and take our dump as well.
Boom! Next week we're doing B movie.
Oh, you can't
We're
hit
doing
me.
we're doing B movie next week, fella.
Bees.
B movie, the B movie, B movie. We're doing B movie next week
Bees.
with the bees. Yeah,
I
B
know.
movie.
I know. Bee movie.
Yeah, we're doing B movie next week. It's a weird movie. It's a weird film. There's too many references to The Graduate. There's a lot of references to Jewishness.
Yeah.
It's definitely a film that was made by adults for adults, but also for kids.
Mhm.
There's some really weird stuff in there that just does not make sense. Chris Rock shows up as a mosquito and starts getting all racist. It's really weird. It's a weird movie.
Let's
But
do it.
That's next. Boom! Next week we're doing B movie. That's gonna be fun. That's gonna be crazy fun.
That's going to be fun.
You know what? I think this has been a good episode.
This has been a damn good episode.
Yeah, a long one, but it was worth it.
Yes.
We covered a lot of stuff. It was a good episode.
So until next week, I am Bunny Williams.
And I am Reverend Steve saying thanks for listening, and we will see you next week, you godless heathens. Do 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 do. Cut and print. That's
Cut.
a wrap.
And print.